drop it. approaching from the sky. Radio contact has been attempted but cannot be established. Instructions are to prepare for an attack by an unknown enemy.
As far as the eye can see, a plague on the surface, a disgusting swarm in the skies. With a crash of thunder, a new demon appears. Unfurling its rotten wings, it lets out a petrifying scream.
And it is time to now kick off the Grand Finals weekend. Welcome back, everybody, to the Osworld Cup 2022. I'm Fire Rage, going to be joined by Doomsday here for this Losers Grand Finals match between Germany and the United States. The Grand Finals for the previous 2 years now happening in the Losers Grand Finals. That means one of these teams will be eliminated as we go into the Grand Finals against South Korea. Doomsday, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I wonder how many people had this on their bingo card. It just seems like Germany versus the United States is, you know, this era's El Clasico in the OWC. The two titans that year on year are always tipped to be the top two. Maybe a couple other teams sneaking in, but these are the two teams you think of as the giants of the Osworld Cup. But one of these two teams are going out before getting to that final, and you can bet your bottom dollar that they haven't left anything to chance. These two teams know each other so well, even with all the new players on both sides, especially on the side of the US. These two know exactly what they're getting into here, and it's gonna be electric.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this. It's always a pleasure to see Germany play the United States. Having been a part of the United States team twice, it has been nerve-wracking, to say the very least, and I imagine it's not any different, especially for the new players on the United States, or in Germany for that matter. It is just playing in an OWC Grand Finals is just, you can't really replicate the nerves you get from that.
Absolutely
Can't
not.
really. It's just, you can't like go anywhere with that.
It's, like I say, it's the big time. It's the biggest prize in OSU, competitive OSU tournaments. This is it. This is what every tournament player lurking around the scene, where it's where they want to be. And really, these two teams with their pedigree will not want to be going out in third place. That is an underperformance for both of these two. I mean, goes without saying, and especially the United States. There is so much pressure on this US team to not lose here, because it'd be the first final since 2014 that didn't involve the US, if I'm not mistaken. It has been a long time of just complete domination from this US team in terms of the top two. And Germany know exactly what's up here.
You are correct. The only other time the USA didn't get first place was in 2017, but they still did make the Grand Finals. So it'd be the first time since 2014 that they don't make the Grand Finals if they lose here. It's really hard to overstate just how dominant the United States has been for the past, nearly 7 years now. It is quite frankly incredible. But nonetheless, we got the players in the lobby. We can get underway now with the match itself. United States getting first ban, and it's immediately a no mod 1 ban.
Whoop.
On the side of the United States.
I can see that one coming, to be honest. Germany are one of the very few teams that actually like no mod 1. They've picked it a few times, and they're consistently good on them. So that ban makes complete sense to me.
Hidden 2 ban from Germany. It's going to be following that up, as well as a free mod 4 ban. Banning out the reading map and the... I'm not really sure how to describe free mod 4, to be honest. I guess kind of rhythm-oriented map?
It's wacky.
It's very wacky. That is to say the least. DT1 ban from the United States. Just wanting to ban out the generic AIM maps. That does leave 2 of the AIM maps still open. Well, 3 technically, but I imagine Germany is probably going to be picking into those at some point during this match. The United States, on the other hand, seeing the hidden 2 ban, I would not be too surprised to see them go for free mod 3 here. But they also have a incredibly strong speed roster. And pretty much all the speed maps are remained open now.
The control bans from Germany do telegraph that a lot of those control maps are going to be pretty spooky for them. And I think there's more to work with in terms of that than there is just raw aim stuff. So, yeah, the US straight away are going to be tempted by things like, that free mod 3, Windtails, and of course any of that speed. They love their speed. They go into it all the time. They are so hard to beat on the speed, even for Germany, who have been one of the best teams in that skill set historically, like it themselves.
Not going to be the speed for the first pick. It's going to be the ill custom song, No Mod 5. Quite... I guess the best way to describe this is somewhat rhythm-oriented. There's a couple of weird, wacky rhythms here and there, but this is more a pattern and reading-oriented map than anything, I'd say.
I'd agree with you there. It's one of those weird maps where the rhythm never really sits still, but the spacing is even more irregular. So many tricky snapping patterns in this, in patterns that just have long streams of circles with all sorts of spacing shapes you have to micro move to. Full bore control map this, and it's exactly what the US have always liked. Over the course of many years, they've always been the go-to team when it comes to this super gimmick map in Grand Finals, and I'm surprised, well, I'm not surprised they're going straight into this over something like Speed, because they're always good on this in Grand Finals.
Yeah, any gimmick map, or any hardcore gimmick map, you can pretty much count the United States on getting a pretty solid score on. You have gimmick players like Takedo, Fancy, very confident in these sorts of types of maps. Utami, obviously, the well-rounder for the United States team. Germany not to be counted out either, though. You got Whitecat and Kriller, probably two of the best players on the German side, and more than capable of putting up some insane scores on this map. It's going to be followed up with Okinamo and Shark. See how they can perform on the first pick, United States.
And the lineups these two have, with the ludicrous level of difficulty now at Grand Finals, it only takes one player to turn the tide on pretty much any map. And these two teams have individuals that have been unstoppable this year. But one of these two teams are going out, Fiery. Who's it going to be? Here we go.
Slow beginning on this map. Not much to really say for the first, I'd say, 200 combo on this. And then, after that point, is when things start getting a bit wacky. See how many people start missing here.
There's a few. 2 on the side of Germany, just 1 on the side of the US early on. Ooh, quite a few breaks from those players that broke, but everyone else holding.
There's a combo advantage to the side of the United States, just off of 3 FCs and the nice recovery from Boshiman. Kriller and Whitecat still holding on to the FCs, but Okinamo and Shark just not having the greatest of times playing this map right now. Meanwhile, the United States, pretty much no issue from 3 FCs coming from them. Fancy will be dropping one of them, but it's not going to be the end of the world since Okinamo and Shark. Okay, well that's going to matter a bit more. Utami slider breaking is going to keep things relatively close here. 2 FCs now to just none on the side of the United States. Takedo going to be dropping, and it's just Whitecat and Kriller holding on to combos now. Now just Whitecat. As we get into the last fourth of the map, there are no combos on the side of the United States, and it's going to be shifting over immediately to Germany just off this performance from Whitecat alone. As we get into the final section of this map, Whitecat misses. This could get very disastrous for the German side, but at the same time, he's just not looking to. And I think he just is so close, but I think he just barely managed to give Germany the point just off that FC alone.
That's just
and
ridiculous.
That's what you were talking about. That's what you were talking about. Kriller and Whitecat, the only 2 players on the German side above 300k on that map, and yet they still won the point.
Yep, Kriller and Whitecat just getting the carry pants on for that. That was a ludicrous performance from both of them. And Kriller had like 98+% AC for the vast majority of that, which is just insane. What a performance from those two to start this one off.
And that's what you were expecting. That's what you were expecting the German side to do. You wanted to see Whitecat and Kriller go in and just start popping off. That's what we haven't really seen in the finals weekend. So seeing that as the first pick, it's definitely a huge confidence booster for Germany as they go right into Nomad 2.
Get stuck into something that they have players that are going to be super comfortable with. They're not going to be too afraid of dealing with some streamy boys here, even at Grand Finals. So it's a good map to try and settle down and try and bank this break point here. God, that's such a huge point though. USA losing the gimmick no mod is a rare occurrence. But it took a ridiculous performance to do it, and that's what Germany had. But we can't count out the US on anything, and they have a crazy tapping roster themselves that's slowly getting assembled here now.
Yeah. Germany traditionally has been the absolute powerhouse when it comes to tapping, but the United States, especially this year, have just been incredible on some of these tapping-oriented maps. Nomad 2s have been a bit shaky, granted, but any other tapping-oriented map has been quite dominant for them overall throughout the course of the tournament. See if Germany can pull together their performance from previous years, get some insane scores on this Nomad 2. Obviously looking towards Whitecat, one of the best Nomad 2 players around, Utami as well on the side of the United States. We'll see what happens. 210 BPM on this one. 8 stars.
It's a lot.
Or, well, almost 8 stars.
That's pretty quick. That's definitely getting up to the higher echelons of Mod 2 stream maps. And it's another custom song as well. Another OS original by Romukun. Thank you very much for the great tunes and lovely art core. Definitely fitting of the tense occasion, this tune. These two titans clashing. Germany looking to bank an early break point here.
Map really doesn't let up in terms of the difficulty. You can pretty much miss on everything in this map. As I say that, obviously, White Cat actually going to be dropping an early miss, as well as aimbot cone. It's not going to be the end of the world. It's the very beginning of the map. Plenty of time for it to be traded out, as Monko does for one of them. Getting used to the map as a whole. Seems like everyone's got their footing in it now. Sawada going to be doing the tactical Sawada miss. Slider break on, I don't even know what that was. Okinamo trades it, so it is still combo advantage on the side of the United States here. 2 FCs to just the 1 on Smarty.
Just watching for those miss aims. Accuracy is looking really good across the board, as you'd expect. Here comes some of those accelerations now, and those little spacing changes. Smarty gets eaten up by one of those. The FC is down for Germany.
Okinama also having a huge chain miss. Rectigon going to be dropping. Monko and Utami holding on to the combos now on the United States. It's just White Cat on the side of Germany. If the 2 combos on the United States drop, this could get dicey. Monko drops one of them, but Utami still holding on to the FC. Sawada with a nice recovery as well. Rest of Germany just unfortunately not really having a nice time trying to recover combo on this.
Section is so brutal for them.
Yeah, about a fourth of the map remaining, and Sawada and Utami are just going to town on this, not having any issues whatsoever. White Cat is doing all he can, 99.4% from him, but it's just not enough for the team to really recover this. Utami is going to be finally missing at the end, but too little, too late. Well as Sawada. It's not going to matter. White Cat dropping the only combo is going to secure this point for the United States. 2 break points back to back.
The ending of that, it just takes no prisoners. It claimed pretty much everyone there. Utami and White Cat just having a ridiculous performance again. Utami with that 1 miss right at the end. It's ludicrous stuff, but the team performance from the US getting the job done, really. Germany, as a team, kind of struggling on that one, with the exception of White Cat. Unfortunate for them, but we are back square 1-1.
Probably gives some indication to the United States it's probably a good idea to start picking into the tapping. Something I never thought I'd say ever against Germany, but the United States actually have a pretty solid chance on DT2 and DT3, I'd say. Fremont 2 might be a bit more dicey, but those two double times, I think, are very strong picks for the United States, and I would not be surprised to see them go for that. I still have Fremont 3 as well. Considering the hidden 2 ban from Germany, that would also be a relatively okay pick.
There are quite a few things they can dig into, the US. A lot of the pool does look pretty good for them. As this match goes on, if trades keep happening, I do wonder whether Germany might start running out of picks as this goes on, but with it being early days, they should still have some good choices, and the US certainly have a lot.
I think Germany still have pretty solid picks in Hidden 1, Hard Rock 1, and Fremod 1, so that's at the very least 3 picks from them. I think as well as that, Nomad 3 would be pretty good. But other than that, everything else is just really toss-up tier or favorite to the United States.
I guess the question that decides that will be how the first few maps go, how the confidence is. Hard Rock 2 is going to be the choice from the US. The Rabbit House OS original, going for all the custom songs today.
Kind of
Shout out to
interested
Red House.
to see this pick, but not too surprised, all things considered. USA has been wanting to pick the precision maps early on, whether that's just because they want to get the precision picks out of the way and not have to worry about nerves. Who knows? But they have been opting to pick these in the first few maps of the match. Obviously, we have to talk about the Hard Rock 2 curse, though, as people are calling it. Whenever a team picks Hard Rock 2, it seems like the enemy team always gets a breakpoint on these types of maps.
Getting a bit overconfident, thinking, "Yep, we're gonna challenge them. We're gonna make them feel the shakes," and it doesn't work out. Yeah, we've seen it quite a few times. But the US is no ordinary team. I trust they've done their research going into this pick. And Hard Rock 2 is something both these two teams play a lot. They've played it every single round for the last 3. So they are no strangers to this year. Same rosters though, I wonder, from last time, or are they going to be changing things up for this one? It's a different sort of map to last week's small circle size Hard Rock. That one was more pure aim. This one has a lot more control, with spaced bursts and kick sliders and things like that. Got a bit of a tech edge on very small circle size.
I imagine we're going to be seeing maybe Sharkin as the last player for Germany. I'm not entirely sure, granted, but I think that'd probably be the most likely. Definitely not Okinamo. Rising, okay, that makes sense.
That's Rising, okay. Rising does play some of the Hard Rock picks. Depends on what style. Didn't play the Hard Rock 2 last time, but he did play the control-based Hard Rock, so... yeah, makes sense. It's what they've been doing.
Meanwhile, on the side, the United States, Decatan going to be giving his first performance of the Grand Finals here. See how he performs on this CS almost 7 map.
It's small. This is extreme precision. Anything below CS5 is kind of rare in tourney. It's nice to see. Yeah, nice to see it. Kind of wish more tournaments would do that.
A lot of places for people to miss on this map. Precision in general has always been a pretty dicey pick to go for in tournament, because it takes a while to get used to, and we're seeing that in droves right now as we get a lot of early misses from everyone on the United States side, as well as everyone on the German side. No one's having a really fun time right now, actually.
Hey, map's hard.
Getting used to the map. And it is also the fact that this map is really brutal, all things considered. It will be a combo advantage towards the United States off Rectigon and Utami. There goes Utami. Rectigon now the only combo remaining. Pretty much in the lobby. Kriller has a somewhat built-up combo, but it is... oh, well, there goes Kriller. It is literally just Rectigon now.
One of the players to watch when it comes to Hard Rock is definitely showing up here. But it's so early on, this map's long enough and players have time to try and, you know, stop the chaos here. That's what it's been. Oh my goodness.
God, everyone is missing on these 1/3 patterns. Rectigon drops the high combo as well. Decatan is there to support it, so not going to be the end of the world. 100k point difference still in favor of the United States. There's just no combo on the side of Germany to counteract that. Deca will be dropping, but Germany needs to start building up some massive combos right now if they want to take this point back, and it is not looking likely for them.
It seems like the US are just able to get that little bit more combo on their players before they get the drops. Germany really struggling to get anything going here, but the US equally struggling, but they've constantly had that little bit more this entire map so far. Entering the final quarter, it's still only 200k, you know. But US have some big combos now on Fancy and Rectigon.
Yeah, with a fourth of the map remaining, and with not really any combo on the side of Germany, this is looking to be a pretty secure win for the United States. White Cat is getting a pretty pop-off ending here, but too little too late, unfortunately.
Busts, man. The angles they take, incredibly nasty on a one try.
Yeah, this map is really brutal in case the scores are like not clear enough about that. I just wanna point that out. The highest score is a 421k coming out from Rectigon. Very, very hard map, to put it lightly. But it will be the United States taking advantage of their general depth of their roster to win that point.
The curse is lifted this time. USA are going to take that one. See, this team is built different. The curse just doesn't work on them. They will back the Hard Rock 2 after picking it themselves. And that's a rarity.
Germany to follow up with their next pick. As I said, pretty much any of the remaining 1 picks, Hidden 1, Hard Rock 1, Free Mod 1, I think would be good for them. No Mod 3 is potentially, as well, good for them. I could possibly see them picking into Hard Rock 3, but I think everything else outside of that, we're probably not going to be seeing Germany pick into.
Definitely expecting the aim next. Something to try and steady the ship. They went into the Nomad 2, didn't quite work out. Going into another comfy pick to try and stop the tide, but they're going to mix it up again. Hidden, coming from Germany, that's not something you see too often.
This isn't all too surprising, granted, as Germany has been strong on Hidden 3, and this is more akin to the Devious Panda map from 2020. I'm forgetting the Critical Cannonball.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah. This map is pretty much a sequel to that, and Germany did take that point, but that was off some incredible performances from players that are not really on the roster anymore. I'm not too sure if the new players would be able to replicate that, especially as this map is quite a lot harder in comparison. And the United States have also improved their hidden roster in droves. It's kind of a toss-up pick for Germany to be picking into.
I'm still too used to Germany not really being too much into Hidden, but that's certainly not the case anymore. Players like Shark brought on fills the gaps on Hidden very nicely for Team Germany. And the US, they can pick and choose their Hidden players. Of course, they got Taquito, they got Fancy back in. Boshy Man for any of these gimmick maps is a really nice main on these sort of things. But with it being quite flow-aim heavy, at times, especially near the end, it does play into the stream side of things for Team Germany. It is interesting to see them pick it into the US, though. Again, it's another one that I would have eyed up for the US, but, well, they know better than I. Of course, it goes without saying, it's another OS original by Sephid. Yeah, the sequel to Critical Cannonball, but this was made for this match. Again, thank you very much, Sephid. I do quite like this tune, actually. This is a jammer.
We've only been picking into OS originals this entire match so far, actually.
It's handy. I think one of them got missed last week. They're trying to make up for some lost time here.
Well, who could blame them, I guess. Yeah, getting into Hidden 3. Already see some misses right out of the gate for Okinama, Taquito, and Boshy. 3 minutes long on this map, so early misses like that, not going to be the end of the world. But you can sort of see what this map is going to be just off the first beginning few notes. Really tech-oriented, a lot of cut streams at 190 BPM make this very brutal to combo consistently. Right now, it seems like Germany actually having a better time here. Whitecat and Kriller, as well as Okinamo, holding on to the combos. Meanwhile, in the United States, literally only Utami now with her combo remaining. Okinamo will trade one of the high combos, but it's still Kriller and Whitecat to hold on strong, and they are going to need to.
You don't stop. Going into some more of like a slider tech section, I think, coming up here. before we get into more streams. And it's going to suit those two combos on Team Germany. It's up to Utami to haul his team back here.
Combo from Utami is the only reason the United States is still really in contention for this pick, getting into the halfway point of the map. Those two FCs on the German side drop. This gets very, very scary. It's not a huge score gap by any means, just under 100k.
Not at all.
We'll be growing slightly, all things considered, as we continue with these high combos, but
these streams coming up. Note locks here, dropping a whole stream costs you so much score. It can switch over in a flash if one of those big combos, or any of them, drop a huge stream. There goes White Cat.
That is not what you want to see from White Cat. Kriller is still holding onto the FC to counter Utami. Luckily, there is not any high combos outside of Utami on the side of the United States, but Kriller dropping the FC is going to be giving the United States the chance of a lifetime now. Last fourth of the map. Can Utami hold the FC and bring this back to the United States as we get into the hardest section of the map here? He is going in, and it's going to shift over to the United States at the very end here. What is Utami doing?
What is Utami doing right now? He's still going.
He's going in!
Is going off, but Utami is going in.
This guy plays hidden! And just like that, the United States, just solely off that Utami combo, have secured themselves a break point, 3-1.
But one of these plays is not like the others. Utami, the second coming, what a play, what a carry. It's another break point, and it's all on Utami with that ridiculous one missed play. Wow.
Kriller also 98.85%. Just unfortunate misses in the last half, but quite insane performance from Utami, obviously. Kriller and White Cat trying their best, but it's not going to be enough against the one-man army in Utami, and it's going to be Fremont 3 to follow up for the United States.
Instant.
We're talking about this, so.
It's the KTG special, as they say. Small circle size, very small circle size. CS 5.5. And AR 8.2 on some completely unhinged low BPM stream patterns in this. There's no other word for it. This map is completely unhinged, and any mod going on this is not a good time. But thankfully we have professionals in the lobby, so I'm sure they'll make that look like a joke. But even so, who goes on what for this?
Honestly, I imagine whoever goes hidden on this is just not really going to have a fun time and is most likely going to tank. I think that's what most players are probably thinking. It's just, let's have somebody on the hidden mod to tank this, and then put our best players on no mod, and then if you have somebody comfortable on Hard Rock, put them in on Hard Rock. Rectagon obviously going to be the Hard Rock player for the United States. I actually would think White Cat might be the Hard Rock player on Germany. I could be entirely wrong on that, and it could be Smarty instead, though.
It could be. White Cat does go a lot of no mod on these lower approach rate maps, though. Usually put him on the safer mod, where he's a bit more comfy, but it could be, considering how hard this pool is. But, yeah. I'm thinking it might be on Smarty or possibly Kriller to just take that tank mod, because that's what they tend to do. Smarty's had some very good performances on small CS, so he could do something here.
I think Smarty Hard Rock, Okinamo hidden, and then we'll have Bashi hidden, Rectagon Hard Rock on the United States, everyone else taking no mod. I think they're going to want to take Kriller and White Cat on no mod, all things considered, as Kriller maybe swaps out. Okay, Rising in place of Kriller on this.
That's a last minute swap. Some last minute discussions happening there. Rising coming in again for, well, he could be taking the Hard Rock because he came in for the previous small CS. We'll see.
It would be an overmod from Germany if they decide to do that.
Oh, wait, is that Rising doesn't have no fail, I don't think. Hang on. Maybe that was a client bug.
Nope, he doesn't have no fail.
Okay.
It's okay,
Well,
we're back to 2017. We don't need no fail anymore. This map does have potential to fail, if I remember correctly, so I'm not too sure that's going to matter, because I think we'll just count the score regardless, but...
Yeah, I think it's inconsequential. Anyways, here we go. Picked by the US. Omega gimmick.
Yeah, mod combos are what we expected, though. And, yeah. We'll see how it goes. Hidden players are just not going to have a fun time on this straight up. And we're already kind of seeing that. Meanwhile, though, Utami and Rectagon are going to be dropping on the side of the United States. Whitecat and Smarty still holding on. Whitecat will be dropping. It's just Smarty now with the high combo countering Fancy on the Nomad. To get into the first hard part of the map here. Continuous streams for about a minute.
It just doesn't stop. It just goes on and on and on. Smarty with the break there. The FC's down. Unfortunate break. Looking at that, he recovered nicely. It's Fancy now with that 500 combo on that Nomad.
He's looking very confident on this. Not really wanting to give Germany any way back into this. And, well, I'm going to be dropping the combo there, but Germany just doesn't have any combo to really take capitalize off that. It's Rectagon with the highest combo in the lobby now, with a 99% on Hard Rock. Smarty as well, with 99%. Hard Rock players casually getting the best stack in the lobby.
How does that work? OD10's that strong. Oh, sorry, AR10's that strong. And Rectagon just doing Rectagon things now. The rocket ship is launched here for the US.
Yeah, this is a very dominant pick
Yeah.
on the side of the United States. Not really too much to say. 400k in the lead. Will get kind of dicey at the end here, but with Fancy countering Whitecat's combo, it'll safely secure this point for the United States. Now up 4-1, and this is getting a bit out of hand for Germany.
Tough start for them, but it's the perfect start for the US, especially after losing that first pick. They're going up the gears now, and they've got all the momentum. You mentioned about the hidden players. They did everything they could, but this is so hard on hidden. But the Hard Rock players making it look like it was designed for the mod. Smarty and Rectagon right there. Those are some great scores from those two.
Yeah, that map is not friendly with hidden. If you get above, like, 300k on that with hidden, you are the best player in the game.
I think I
that map
drafted you in.
is so hard, it's not even funny. Anyway, Germany to follow up with the next pick.
Yeah, with this, they can still turn the tide here, but you think they gotta choose very wisely here. A loss here could spell disaster for them. They've got the aim. Nightmare Party, Hard Rock 1. They do like those. Maybe they could be tempted by a Nomad 3 as well, which has been decent for them, but that seems like a dodgy thing into the US. But a couple options there to try and get their strongest players on picks that are comfortable for them. But they gotta be careful. The US will pounce if Germany drop this, you think?
Wouldn't necessarily say Germany is out of it if they lose this next point, but Nomad 4 on the side of Germany is not what I expected. The United States, very well versed in tech. Obviously Germany as well on the side of Whitecat and Kriller. Those two players in general on Germany have the potential to just pop off an FC this map, so not too surprising to see Germany pick into this, all things considered, but
it seems like the perfect map for some of Germany's key carries to do some damage on their own.
It is just somewhat surprising to see this, as the United States, I think, has a more general, well-rounded tech roster in comparison to Germany, so they must be really banking on Whitecat and Kriller to do some damage on this map.
Right. I mean, players like Shark can definitely do really well on these no-mod 4s as well. We haven't seen too much of it from Germany in the late stages of this tournament, so it's a bit of a different one, so there's not too much info from this tournament to really look at that. I would agree, though, that the US have a 4-person roster that should be very nice on this, you think. That 4-player roster is going to be hard to beat. But this map is tough, it's intense. It's a tech map that's 7.7 stars, for crying out loud. And it's Halgo, so you get those ridiculous slider patterns and little cut stream patterns throughout this one.
This is probably This is probably one of the hardest maps in the pool. I feel confident in saying that. Custom song as well from DJ Rice. You'll see what we mean by when I say this map is hard as we get into it. I really am going to be surprised if we see a score higher than, I'd say, 600k on this, because this map just... It starts and then it never stops, and it's pretty much consistently an 8-star map. Let's put it that way.
Essentially. And even have some pretty spicy streams near the end of this as well, just to give you something else to worry about. And, streams, Germany, they like them. They like them.
They did lose Nomad too, though. You have to keep that in mind.
Oh, well, they did, but usually they like them.
Players to watch out for. White Cat Curler on the side of Germany, obviously. Watching out for Fancy Taquito, namely, on the side of the United States. Utami also more than capable of putting up a really nice score on this. Everyone on the German side breaking in the early stages of the map. 3 FCs still on the side of the United States. It is going to matter quite a bit, as this map is only 2 minutes long, so these early combos will be giving a pretty sizable advantage to the US. Everyone is breaking, though. Decatan the only FC remaining, and I imagine that's probably not going to be the case for long. Shark tries to counteract that high combo from Decatan.
I don't doubt Decatan though, but yeah, as this goes on, it's just more and more that score is looking so much bigger. But how long does it last? Germany losing big combos, Shark drops 400 combo.
This is a crazy performance from Decatan. It's going to be slider breaking finally, but that was a crazy combo to hold during that section. Now Utami and Kriller battling it out with the highest combos. Slight combo advantage to the side of Germany, but it's already a 200k point lead for the United States. It's going to have to take pretty much White Cat and Kriller FCing the rest of this map and Utami breaking pretty much right now in order for Germany to get back into this map. If either one of those two don't happen, actually, Utami might not even need to miss. Score lead is shifting very slowly, granted, but it is shifting. With the repeated misses from Smarty and Shark, it's gonna just be out of reach, I think.
Again, Utami holding the fort. He doesn't get the break, though. 200k, the ending drop. Is there enough time? So much score lost there by the US. Is there enough time?
I don't think there is, and Kriller missing at the very end is not going to help things at all. But even if Kriller didn't miss, I think it would have been barely a United States point by about 30k.
Yeah, it looks like it. But some of those note locks there on the US, the score shifting in huge chunks at the end there, threatened to go over, but not quite. It's another break point for the US, and they are 5-1 up here with the next pick in tow.
One miss with Shark as well.
That's kind of ridiculous. I think there was a couple slider breaks in there, though. But nevertheless...
Well, yeah, obviously. The hard part of the map is sliders, but nonetheless, one miss on that is still incredible, all things considered. Accuracy from White Cat especially is just absurd, all things considered. But the United States, following up with their next pick, looking to get an early match point here, up 5-1. Germany looking down the barrel right now. It's not looking too good for them.
They have at least one more pick to try and make things happen here, but the US can guarantee a match point if they choose wisely. They still have a lot of speed open all over the pool. They still have a little bit of control in the likes of DT4, which could become useful. Or Hard Rock 3 maybe. You were talking about that earlier as a possible thing for Germany, but I don't think US would be too afraid of that.
Honestly, what would surprise me more at this rate is the United States picking into one of the one maps, Hidden 1, Hard Rock 1, Free Mod 1.
Yeah, that would blow my mind, to be honest. That'd be just handing over a lifeline, I think, honestly.
Yeah, there's DT2. After Nomad 2, not really too surprising to see this. This is all tapping. Quite literally all tapping on this pick.
It's literally all there is to this. Dada cooking up some left-hand soup. 231 BPM streams and nothing but streams. It's a good old stream practice map almost. And it is intense. Don't let the star rating fool you. It's not even 7 stars with DT. I have no idea how that's happened. It is intense on the tapping.
If you've ever played the Castellan Love map now, I believe, Midorigo Queen Bee, just imagine that, but with slightly longer streams. Especially as we get towards the ending. The ending of this map is just insane in the stamina requirement.
Now, Germany, do you like their speed as well? You were talking about it earlier, how maybe their speed roster isn't quite as OP as it once was. It's still very good, though. But the US's speed team is second to none. So it's going to be a case of a very good team facing a unstoppable team when it comes to speed. Still not too much in it, though, and the odd miss can swing things. But this being all tapping, the chances of odd misses from aim is kind of low on this for your speed mains.
Yeah, there's not really much aim requirement on this. CS 3.2, so very high circle size. Pretty much all exclusive to whether or not you have the stamina to be able to play this. I believe 230 BPM, which is non-stop streams. On the side of the United States, looking towards Sawada and Utami to pop off on this one. Rekigan as well, more than capable of putting up a high score on this. Side of Germany, Okinamo Rising, your two standout speed players from Germany remaining on the roster. Aimbot Cone also brought in as the new player for the speed roster. And then White Cat, kind of filling for this, I'd imagine. Not really something he's terribly confident on, but more than capable of at least getting a half-decent score on.
You know, with it not being particularly too high BPM, it should be reasonable. But filling on this against the US seems a bit of a scary prospect to me. We'll see how this plays out, though. To get Monko back in as well. Gramps for the US, doing his bit here.
Early miss from Whitecat. Not going to be traded out by anyone on the side of the United States. AC advantage is in favor of Germany for now. Never mind, there goes that.
God, no. There's only one FC left, and it's Aimbot Cone, the new player for Team Germany. 2 FC, or 1 FC and a high combo for the US. Still relatively close, but it is with Team Blue here.
Yeah, it's the new players, actually, holding on to the combos here. Sawada and Aimbot Cone battling it out. Aimbot Cone with a ridiculous 99.3, dropping a bit now, but it's going to be keeping things close here. Rekigan with the supporting combo will give the United States the slight advantage they need to get into literally non-stop bursts. And not really many people having issues with that, all things considered.
It's the break. They see it. They see where it stands. We'll see how these new players can deal with the pressure of carrying.
Will we see the certified Sawada miss on thin air? Has been the theme for a lot of Sawada's points. And if that happens, then Germany is pretty much given a very important lifeline here. Aimbot Cone dropping the FC is not going to help that at all, though.
That's so massive now. They can really take this away. 2 big combos on US. Storming into the lead here as we get past the halfway point. 2 combos on the Germany can bring it back, but there is so much on Team US now. 2 players can haul this one home.
Yeah, the amount of stamina that is required for this is non-stop streams at 230 BPM. And no one on the side of the United States is having problems Everyone is holding on to a high combo right now. What is going on? Like, what is this? And this is the long stream. Here's the long streams. No issue. Rectagon and Monko dropping on that one, granted, but look at Sawada. Look at this man.
Oh, no.
How's that happening? How do you keep doing this, Sawada? What did you even miss? It's going to be enough for the United States to get match point, but my God.
Dude, Sawada's had his Weetabix this morning. He's had that good breakfast. He's feeling good. That's nearly 1 million on that one miss. 98%? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, by far the highest stack in the lobby. Absolutely ridiculous performance from Sawada on that map. That is... I'm going to remain silent on that, Sawada. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, Sawada. You're going to have a fun time reviewing the VOD, I imagine. But yeah, Utami as well. Rectagon, pretty much everyone on the side of the United States just doing well on that. As kind of expected, they've been completely demolishing these tapping picks.
You gotta say, though, that the miscounts on Team Germany were pretty low as well. Aimbot Cone and Okinama with very low miscounts, just unfortunately chopping that combo up. That's how it goes. US with that consistency and that comfort. Overall, just looking better on that. They are on match point now. Team Germany with their possibly final pick, unless they pick well. Their picks haven't gone well.
DT3 and Fremod 2 are completely off the table for Germany. If they pick into those, then I feel like the United States has a very solid chance of winning 7-1. The rest of the maps are a bit more dicey, though. Pretty much everything outside of those two maps I can see Germany picking and doing reasonably well on. It's going to be Fremod 1.
Oh, right. So they're going into the Jonathan LFJ classic Falcon Sound team. And yeah, this seems about right. It's time for some aim, Fiery. How does this go now?
Well, you have to think about it from German side. You have to win every single United States point from this point onwards, and there are still 2 tapping maps remaining in the pool. It is not really looking too good for Germany. They just want to really pad out the score, I'd say, at this point, considering how dominant the United States was on DT2. But who knows? Anything can happen.
We've seen crazier things happen in the OWC.
Neox coming in for the first time this grand final.
Key speed player for Team Germany, drafted in. Had an amazing performance in the 2020 final, I believe. He's back again on this very high-speed aim map.
Kind of surprised not to see Kriller in for this, to be honest. I imagine Kriller would be very confident on this on Hidden, but Germany definitely have the depth of their roster to be able to counteract that. It's going to be Okinama on the Hidden, Neox on the Hard Rock, Takedo and Rectagon taking the obvious mods for them. Everyone else taking no mod.
It's a last chance saloon for Team Germany here. Trusting the aim with it, it's something they like a lot. Something the US don't really get stuck into too much on anything that isn't in the DT pool. They need it to work to start this comeback, but we'll see how it goes.
No one having a fun time on that pattern on the side of Germany outside of White Cat. Takedo, Decatan, and Utami holding on strong with the combos on the side of the United States. Plenty of opportunity for those combos to still drop, however. 3 SSs remaining on the board, White Cat, Utami, and Takedo. Utami dropping it now, but still 2. Still pretty close, all things considered, even with these high combos now from the United States. It's going to be a bit more of a gap, as I am really surprised, and no one on the United States is missing on some of these patterns.
Rock solid. The hidden and the no mod. Preference mod for Taquito. I think it's the accuracy from Rectagon that's making this somewhat close because it's down a little bit. Neox with that 98.6 on his hard rock. He's finding a couple breaks though. USA are starting to get away. Halfway point here. Utami finds the break. That's big for the US. The gap is closing slightly.
Gonna need to be a miss from Decadent and Taquito as well, though. Halfway through the map, and they are still holding on strong to their combos. Decadent might as well be an FC. Just a very early miss 20 combo into the map. This is where Taquito could find a miss here on this flow aim hidden. We'll see if that happens. Nope. 200k misses from Taquito and Decadent are pretty much the only chance Germany has to take this point back, and they're going to have to happen really soon in order for that to happen.
The window is closing here for Germany. US can smell the final. Decadent really showing up here in his debut here in the OWC. Taquito doing what we know he can do. 300k and climbing. Whitecat can't do it on his own. Taquito finds a break. We are in the last eighth of the map now. Oh, Shark finds the break though. That's going to hurt. The combos are equalized. That has to be it, surely.
Decadent needed to miss there, I think, and even if he missed there, it's not going to be enough. The United States are going to be continuing on to their... I don't even know how many finals it's been at this point, Grand Finals. Since 2015. Whitecat with the 1x100 FC on the Nomad, by the way. Just not enough to counteract the two high combos on the side of the United States.
He did everything he could. But it is going to be the end of Team Germany this year in OWC. They take third place, and the United States, out of all the years they've had, this is by far their hardest year in a long time. In these late stages, they have been pushed all away, but they have bucked up and recovered amazingly, and through blood, sweat and tears, they have fought their way back into the grand final. Some things change, some things stay the same. United States are in the OWC grand final, but they had to work so hard for that in these losers bracket matches, but they really did demolish Germany there. What a performance.
This is the United States roster I think the United States score that I think a lot of people were expecting going into the tournament. They are going to be facing now against the people that put them in the losers bracket to begin with, South Korea, in the grand finals. We'll see how that plays out for them, but the United States have been just looking very dominant so far, and we'll see if they can continue that performance later today for them, all things considered. 3 UTC on Sunday for the matchup. SK versus US. Repeat of the OWC 2019 Grand Finals. This time, SK in the winner's bracket.
Yeah, it's a very different vibe to then, though. That year in 2019, the US were so incredibly dominant. There has never been a team as dominant as the US was in 2019. It wasn't even a contest. But I think this one is very different, Fiery. I think you'd agree with me.
South Korea have the potential to pop off hard on this. Obviously, Karcher and Worst HR Player, the two standout players on South Korea by far. But the entire team in general has been pretty consistent. And I think we're going to be seeing that in droves as we get into the next matchup. It's going to be happening in 8 hours. Unfortunately, everyone in the European Union is gone at that time.
Oh man, I'm going to be a rebel.
Sorry,
I'm going to stay up past my bedtime, Fiery. You think I'm missing that? You're joking, mate.
Yeah, you're staying up. You're staying up.
Oh yeah, got to see that matchup.
I respect it.
Yeah, everything's been put in towards that final, the big one, the grand final of OWC. Sure, in the previous match in the semi-finals, Korea and USA, it went all away. Was that the wake-up call for Team USA? To really find some new strength, because since they dropped into the losers bracket, they have looked even stronger. But Korea, this entire tournament, have been a force, and they have been unstoppable with many of their new players coming in. But this will be their greatest challenge. But they have 2 matches to do it. Will we see a new champion, or will USA defend their title once again? It's all happening here in 8 hours' time. So, as always, Fiery, it's great casting with you. Great match, and I wish it was a bit closer. But
I wish it was a bit closer too. But hey, it's a pleasure nonetheless to be here with Doomsday the man himself. But yeah, we'll see you guys in 8 hours for the grand finals of the Austral Cup 2022. See you guys then.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and welcome for the final time to the Osu World Cup 2022. It is time at long last for the grand finals match. We have on the one side the Cinderella story of all Cinderella stories, South Korea, making it through several tiebreakers and close matches to reach the grand finals from winner's side. Against the United States, an unfamiliar face on the losers' side of the grand finals, but here they are after dropping on a tiebreaker to this same South Korea team. They've clawed their way back up to grand finals to win their opportunity at revenge. They've won multiple times before. We all know the story of the United States' historic levels of dominance over the past 6-8 years. South Korea, though, are on a run this year that looks to finally end it. I'm this one guy. Joining me for this incredibly hyped match are none other than Australia's Jordan the Bear and Canada's Azer, two first-timers in the grand finals commentary booth. Jordan, welcome. What are your thoughts on South Korea, USA?
Man, am I keen, this one guy. Thank you so much for that beautiful opener and welcome everyone to this beautiful match, South Korea, United States. I'm so keen to watch United States see if they can claw their way through the losers bracket through 14 points to get this W against South Korea. But man, after last week, it's gonna take a mission. It's gonna take some magic from the United States, but I'm looking forward to it. How about you, Azer?
I'm doing amazing as well. I mean, I'm so happy to be here, honestly. I think we have a fantastic match, or maybe even two ahead of us. Honestly, the stakes are so high here. You know, solid chance of witnessing history here a little bit, as we already have before when Korea beat the USA. It's going to be a pretty good time, honestly. There's a lot of question marks still about, you know, how much do these Korean players scale? There's still so much that we don't know beyond Karcher and Forum. You know, like, obviously those are the two big names that we've been looking at, but like, there are so many there's 6 other players on this team that are kind of quietly there in the background, maybe not the star players of the team, but you know, how are they going to fare off on this pool that is probably the hardest pool that we've had in OWC yet?
And it's something we saw earlier, right? We got the United States already has a match on this pool under their belt. They won 7-1 over Germany in the losers bracket final earlier today. South Korea has a little bit of information on what the United States might want to do, what they might want to ban out, what they might want to pick, what they might do well on, what they might do a little worse on. And we know the kind of skill sets that separate these teams. The United States has built this really strong mechanics roster. South Korea has a team that's very good at aim, but also has been very good on gimmicky types of maps. That's how they beat United States first time around. And we're already getting the bans here. So Jordan, what are we seeing to start things off right away?
Yeah, we're flying through the bans already. I'm excited for South Korea to have this little advantage right now that you know, they haven't played through this pool yet on the scene. You know, they got to watch United States push through Germany 7-1 last night, so they've got all the information they need to make the most of this glorious task at hand. So they've decided it's going to be DT2 and Fremod 2. Going for both the speed maps here. You know, they're just not going to go against the United States speed roster at all. We saw how it was last night, or for me, or this morning for you guys, that Germany, they didn't stand a chance against United States speed roster. So.
Oh my god, that DT2 from USA was insane.
Yeah.
Very smart ban there. I mean, it's kind of a given that Korea is going to ban tapping maps. They have only banned tapping maps the entire tournament. They have never not banned a tapping map. It is always the Mod 2, Fremod 2, or DT2 or 3. Always, never has banned anything else.
So I've got a good feeling about what the United States' first pick might be into South Korea, but we're going to start off with South Korea's here. It's Jonathan LFJ's money map of the season. He gets one every single OWC at the very least, and here it is. It's the 260 BPM. Sorry to undermine it there. 260 BPM Abyss map, 3 minutes in time. Teague, why don't you tell us a little bit about this map?
Well, I'll let Azer do that, but I do want to point out, because he's the mapping expert, but I do want to point out, USA has played Fremont 1 in every single match they've played. They haven't picked it in any of them. Every single team that has played against the United States has picked Fremont 1 into them. USA has won 5 of those 7 times that these Fremont 1s have been played, but one of the teams that beat them was South Korea in their semifinals match.
Yeah, this is... a little bit of a bold first pick, I would say. This is one of the maps that they just played earlier on against Germany. They did extremely well. Decayed Taquito almost FCing, putting up 800k scores on this, which is quite insane. So I'm kind of wondering to see what Korea can do on this if they feel confident going against that, because this was probably one of USA's best scores. I'm kind of curious, but I mean, about this map, we've seen it in that match, but yeah, it is a Falcon Sound Team LFJ map, so you know you can kind of already guess what it's going to be. But I think most notably where we saw Germany struggle a little bit is there's these like linear circle patterns that happen repeatedly throughout the map, and these can really catch people if you're on nerves. You need a pretty significant amount of aim control to play this, whereas you may not normally expect it to be present in a map like this. Well, here we go.
Yeah. So important to snap to the first node on patterns like that. But here it is. It's your first map of the OSU World Cup 2022 South Korea United States Grand Finals, featuring Zason, Karcher, worst hard rock player, and Amamiya Kokoro on South Korea's side. I'm a fancy lad, Utami, Taquito, Decadent. Going to be the ones to start us out this match.
USA looking at about a 2.6 million score from their first match, so trying to match or exceed that one. A little trouble early on as they get into this intro. But
that's fine. This seems ridiculous.
It throws you right into the map. So, gotta get your feet under you. Gotta be prepared and gotta get into it. And there's several breaks early on coming all over the place. Ace and Amamiya Kokoro, Decaton. And it's down to Taquito with the FC against who else? A two-man combo we're going to be talking about a lot. Karcher and worst HR player holding the HR and the hidden FCs to the first 200 combo.
Yeah, no time to start this map out, you know, with a bit of a warm, slow intro, get into it. No, we're straight into OWC Grand Finals. Karcher and worst hard rock player, not missing that intro is a feat to behold. But I'm a fancy lad, Taquito and Utami are going ridiculous right now on this intro. How have none of them broke? I can't believe we're not seeing any more nerves, man. This is such a high stakes match for both teams, and no one's shaking, everyone's just performing already.
And it's so
actually,
crazy. Go ahead.
It's actually worth noting, USA actually changed their lineup as well. Utami is now playing Hard Rock, whereas they had Rectigon, who did not do so good. So maybe feeling even more confident than they were before. They're bringing in Fancy Lad instead of Rectigon on this.
Fancy Lad, historically, a very good no-mod on free-mod player. He has better aim than I think he often gets credit for. But to the point of, you know, the nerves, right? It's very interesting when you look at the two teams because you have a bunch of players who are really experienced in tournaments, right? You have Karcher, you have worst HR player, Tommy, Fancy Lad, Taquito, OWC champions. But then you have Zason, Amamiya, Kokoro, and Decaton, who are kind of newcomers. So you've got to think about the nerves on those guys as being possibly even worse, but they're showing up, and they've been the players who have been that key kind of backing score throughout this tournament for their teams. But there go those backing combos throughout South Korea.
There. I was going to say, they're going absolutely stupid. Like, that was 800 combo in a Grand Finals map, just uninterrupted. No one was breaking. Like, everyone is here to play, but 2 breaks there. Gonna swing it a little bit over to United States on this first map. It's not their pick, so this would be a huge break point to start the match. And, you know, getting that intro, that the first map break point is so pivotal for the other team. Like, being on the mental state to lose that first map that they've thought about this. These teams have planned for this for so long and prepared for this match. Losing your first pick going into it would be a horror story for South Korea. They have to get back on their feet here. But Zason, another break from him, not going to help. Karcher is still going though. We lost worst hard rock player in the midst of it there. I'm a fancy lad breaks. Right as I'm saying that, it's Utami versus Karcher. Get used to us saying that because those two will be our stars of the match as it seems already. And that's the map. It's already over.
That's the map. That
2
was just
FCs on our first map in OWC Grand Finals. Are you kidding me, this one guy?
Okay, I will say it's only one FC. Utami broke in the first 30 combo, so it's only one FC. No big deal. But yeah, Karcher and Utami came ready to play. But this is the concern that we have for these teams, right? This is what we were talking about before the match started. The United States, we know what to expect out of their backing players based on what we saw earlier and based on their history. South Korea, we haven't seen a lot of these players in a grand finals pool. And when you look at the score coming out of Amamiya Kokoro and barely even at 500k, Zason at just barely over 500k, and you look at the USA's performance around all 4 of them, over 600k at worst. That's where you start to see a little concern, and USA improving that score by 500k, mind you, from their play earlier.
That's insane, honestly. We thought that score was already scary enough, but apparently it wasn't even close. That was a massive difference. You have to kind of wonder what they go for now, though. I mean, they did have their picks beforehand. I think they're probably going to be looking at changing some of their picks here. USA against Korea. I mean, Korea and Germany being pretty different. You know, those teams have very different strengths. So kind of wondering to see if they're going to hover the same type of picks. And okay, yes, the first pick, low AR reading memory hidden. All right, let's go.
Ripping into the AR8 hidden, dude. That is my favorite strategy, man, dude. You go for the lowest, you go for Gimmick straight away, because if you can't hang on Gimmick on these teams, I was expecting a speed pick there from the United States, but I guess they're going to save it. Why not save it in a situation where South Korea's already banned 2 of the tapping maps, and then, you know, I'd say they're pretty confident in securing that point. So saving it for I like the strategy from the United States here, saving it for a moment that, you know, it might matter a little bit more in case South Korea gets a few of these cheeky points here. You know, you never know how another team is going to go on the AR8 hidden until it's too late.
They've got the USA in their back pocket. Yeah. You know, break glass in case of an emergency.
In case of emergency, love that.
You know, USA also, I might mention, has not lost a hidden 2 this tournament. They're 3 for 3 on hidden 2s so far this tournament. This was notably the only like Gimmick map left up in their match against South Korea in the semifinals. They were the only match that didn't ban it, but it was completely ignored that time around. But it was banned against them earlier by Germany. So the respect I think countries are going to have for this USA roster on hidden 2s is immense. And this one is incredibly hard, as befits a grand finals.
Okay, but honestly, we haven't seen too much of Nope KJK this year because they just didn't really need to play him much. But the past 2 years, man, Nope KJK on these type of picks has been pretty much an MVP every time it was played. So it's still pretty scary.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason the saying's 3 for 3 and not 4 for 4 though, Tig. So I've got a little bit of hopium for the South Korean team right here. Breakpoint for breakpoint. I love those matches. They're my favorite when it's always just breakpoint into breakpoint into breakpoint. No one can seem to figure out what to pick. I'm hoping for a bit of a scramble in this match, but it's time for the United States' first pick of the match. Oh, lots of pressure going in on the first. It's your first pick. You know, if you mess this one up, you know. Where's the strategy? You know, you start to lose the strategy after you mess up your first pick, which is exactly what South Korea have done. Let's see if they can get back on their feet here, make it so nothing happened. You know, it was just a trade 1 for 1.
Yeah, the squad for South Korea is scary here. As Azer was mentioning, Nope KJK incredibly good on these types of maps. Worst HR player, you know the name, right? He's bad at HR. Well, he's good at hidden. Guess what? Get a couple of early breaks coming in. Just get those nerves out of the way. You're changing your skill set quite a bit here.
Love that. There's the first 50 combo of the map, then a break, just to see who's got that little embarrassing miss at the start. There was a few of them. No one could really hold that intro together, but the map hasn't really started yet. This map gets absolutely absurd with its perfect stacked patterning. So you really have to actually practice this one. I hope it's the grand finals of OWC. I'd hope everyone's practiced, but this is my favorite part of hidden 2, dude. Everyone just dies. It's a graveyard out there. Like some of these streams, you'll see it's like they stack on top of each other before it goes into the actual stream. So if you go a little too early or a little too late on some of these, you're just gonna end up seeing red. And that's what we're seeing here from Fancy Lad and Nope JK. It's a bit of a struggle at the start of the map. Only a few full combos remaining here. It's 2 for each side, pretty much. But there's Karcher.
Those perfect stack triples that like reverse direction are so incredibly hard. Like those patterns, like Amamiya Kokoro right there. You just chain miss if you mistap it, misread it, anything. There goes Karcher on the same thing. That's such a difficult pattern to be consistent on. And we remember this is what Bashiman is on the USA team for. Is maps like this, the Gimmick type of stuff, small circle precision, low AR hidden, and he's showing why they put him on the roster, holding onto this FC through half of the map. Utami, of course, came into the scene as a low AR and a reading player, and people have kind of forgotten that, right? He's so good at speed and such that's kind of been the skill set he's leaned into, but he has still got this reading on lock, and USA seem to have this point on lock.
Yeah, he's freaking this right now. It's 2 FCs on the AR8, and we've gotten through most of the hard parts of the map. It's already 1.5 million to 1 for South Korea, so this isn't looking to be the pick that they needed, you know. It's 4 for 4 as it seems for the United States, because they did both break, unfortunately, so no FCs, but if you're coming into this grand final expecting FCs on the end of these maps, I've got a word. I've got a few words for you, my friends, because I tried playing some of this pool before, and none of it is playable. All these players are making this look so much easier than it is already, and they're on 300k. Like it's crazy how hard these maps are. So, like, if we see a 600k on this ARA hidden, I will be on the floor.
We might see two 600Ks on this, both on the United States side. Utami and Bashiman are just full sending it. And Taquito, by the way, coming back with now the best combo in the lobby, despite the earlier breaks, is going to put up a pretty solid score as well. Like, 500k is not bad on this at all, and Bashiman and Utami are both going to put up over 600k. Those are both insane scores.
Insane.
Those are
Absolutely
incredible.
Insane.
And that's back
Bashi
to
only
back.
missed one pattern.
Yeah. It's back-to-back 500k wins to start things off. 456k, 526k. United States, rumors of their demise may have been greatly exaggerated because they came to this grand final ready to play.
Yeah, this is insane. Like, I don't know. I'm not looking too scared for Korea though. If they've all got decent scores, like these 400k scores aren't bad at all, and the team scores they're all still kind of scoring high together. So they just need a map. They just need to pick right here. It's a huge point, huge decision right now is what South Korea is going to pick to get on the board, because this is the most important part of the match to get on the board. You can't be 3-0 down in the first 10 minutes of a match.
I really wonder what they go for though, because usually they like to go for hiddens most of the time, or free mods that favor hiddens. And I mean, they kind of just lost that one pretty significantly. So, I mean, in finals, they picked Hidden 3 and Hidden 2 as well, which was a tech map in that pool as well, right? So, I'm not sure what they really can go for. It's pretty scary when they already lost the first breakpoint as well. I think we might be seeing Hidden 1, if anything. But I don't know. The entire pool is still open. We also don't really know how they do on more gimmicky things like this new Free Mod 4. I'm curious if that's going to get picked at all. We haven't seen it yet in any of the show matches or the previous match, so...
Yeah, from Jazag, spiky boy, but I'm looking forward to that. But I'm interested to see if they actually want to stay on that hidden line. They've seen how the United States have played the Hidden 3. That was one of the maps played in Germany versus United States. And, you know, they had Utami's absolutely ridiculous score of like almost 900k, I believe. But everyone else wasn't really that high. So maybe they picked that. But it's going to be Nightmare Party, Mordred's Hard Rock 1 aim pick. Not what I was expecting at all. What about you guys?
Nope.
This is South Korea's first Hard Rock 1 of the entire tournament. They've not played a single Hard Rock 1 to this point. USA's played it twice and won both of them. This is the first time we'll see South Korea on a Hard Rock 1.
They haven't needed it until now, Tig. Here it is. We finally get to bust it out, the Karcher specialty, the Hard Rock 1, dude. So I reckon this could be the pick that they need here.
Yeah, I actually kind of like this. I think it's a pretty good pick for them. I mean, they're going to play around Karcher and Zayson probably off this one, but I mean, on Fremont 1 that was just played, I mean, Karcher did FC it with 99.3%, you know, like he's feeling the Hard Rock right now. Utami almost did also, but you know, Utami's always going to do that. But I mean, most notably, I think Rectigon, we haven't seen too much on the Hard Rock pool so far, and like for the rest of the USA players, I'm not sure who really holds up to mechanics at this level, you know, to match Karcher and Zayson on this.
I think this is the Rectigon Utami angle, and then probably like Monko and maybe Decaden. I've seen him play a decent amount of Hard Rock 1 in the past. The first tournament I was really seeing him much in was United States Cup this past summer, and he came out and had some really good scores on the Hard Rock 1s in that tournament. So not surprising to see him come in as the fourth for this. Notably, no worst HR player. And this is a South Korea pick. So they're picking a map that they don't have their second like big name carry in for, which is an interesting gambit.
Yeah, well, I'm not one to underestimate any of South Korea though. Parisia, I'm looking forward to see how he goes here, because if he has a pop-off moment, I believe this is his first map in this grand final right now. So if he has a pop-off moment, first map on a Hard Rock, specifically, you know, through these nerves, it really could set up for the rest of the match. You know, and I think that's what they're going for here.
This map has so much snap aim. It has so much snap aim. You have to do a pattern and then move across the screen and then do another pattern. And that on nerves is really tricky, because if you miss the first object, you've now, you know, racked up 16 misses on that pattern. Like, it's so punishing.
Yeah. I'm always excited to see the accuracies on Hard Rocks, especially in the grand finals. Who can actually keep a Hard Rock score above like 98.5 in this lobby? Because it makes such a difference when the maps are 7.5 stars and beyond. So here it is.
This is the Karcher specialty. This is, you know, we talked before the match, like Yomiuri FC, a lot of his Hard Rock plays, very good at aim and streams and just kind of anything that requires this sort of skill set. So I think you're putting your eggs in the Karcher basket a little bit for South Korea and saying, what's our best other combos going to look like on this map? This was something that I kind of picked as an option for South Korea, would be the aim maps, whatever was left up of aim, whether it was Hard Rock 1, Nomad 1, Free Mod 1. And they're going 2 of those early on in this match, so we'll see how this starts out. Monko coming in for USA for his first map, not starting off the best. It gives South Korea a little bit of a lead, but Parisia, the other new player in, also breaking early on, so those guys are going to trade.
Yeah, those are big breaks already, and I don't know, I like, there's no real specific United States player that mains Hard Rock aim. You know, they had Boshi Man for that last day, right, hidden, but where's our specialty players for full screen precision? You know, it's a lot harder to have that gimmick covered, so you just kind of put in your best aim players for these maps, and that maybe that's not going to be enough here. It's just Parisia and Monko 2K that have missed still. Everyone is looking to get through this first chorus. There's a break!
Oh, dear.
Oh! 3 breaks. Monko 2K decked to Amiyakara and Zayson. That was 4.
That was
good
4 breaks.
For me.
So it leaves Karcher, Rectagon, and Utami. And I was going to say, until he broke right there, Decaton is on this USA team largely because he's so good at mechanics, whether, you know, the aim type of focused maps. So was looking at him to be a big performer for them. But Rectagon, Utami, 2 players who are very good at this skill set, matching Karcher. There goes Rectagon, though. So now, okay, it's Utami versus Karcher 1v1. Whoever wins out on that will give their team a huge advantage. If either of them breaks, it goes the other way. It's Utami on the 1/3.
Catches Utami. And now it's just Karcher. It's right there. It's right there. It's already on South Korea's side. He just needs to keep going for maybe 300, 400 combo, and it's theirs. It's secured. This is the huge moment in the match right now. Can he do it? Can he get through the hardest part of the map? The song is climaxing, so it's 1400, 1300. It's not going that far with Parisia missing there. Stream section, but we know Karcher has them handled.
Karcher doesn't miss. Karcher just doesn't miss on this map. Like, Hard Rock 1 is just his playground. United States falling to pieces. Monko, Decaton, and Utami all breaking. Hamiya, Kokoro, Zayson still holding the backup Karcher. But he's the main character of this act right here. Taking over. 700k, 99 act. I mean, this map was made for him, and he is just showing off right now.
He's had his team put all their faith in him, and he's performed underneath all of that pressure. How? He's 1300 combo into Hard Rock 1. It's 800k, 99% still. He's had them all put their faith, and he's gone and done it.
This is what he's been doing this entire tournament. We talk about these teams that have their solo carry players, the Malashevskis of the world, the Karchers of the world, and he is just just gonna FC, I guess, the Grand Finals Hard Rock 1 because
he just hit it
that easy for him. Nah, this is not insane. Right. This is an incredible play from Karcher, and he's going to lead South Korea to their first point on the board. It's 2-1 United States, but there's South Korea.
There it is. The doors are open. The first point has been secured for South Korea. They can kind of have that breather now, that sigh of relief. We are on the board, but it doesn't end there, my friends. We're on the board, but we've got 6 more to go. So that's a slider break from Rectagon as well. I didn't notice that. He's 99.
Yeah, but looking at that,
slider break, so
even if Rectagon did not get that slider break, I think Korea would have still won that.
It would have been super close, but Korea still would have won. USA just did not get great backing scores. Unfortunately, they didn't have like a second player that really did well. Monko and Decaton did not have the best of time. Pretty good scores from Zayson as well as Amamiya Kokoro to back up that Karcher FC, but man, he's played 3 maps, he's FC'd 2 of them already. Like, Karcher is here. Karcher is prepared for this match. He's got that dog in him for real.
Oh, there it is. The pocket pick.
And there's the DT3.
Alright, it's Sawa time.
So much no emergency. This isn't even an emergency yet, but USA is picking that calling card because they're saying we want to make sure we take this 3-1 lead. We want to make sure we hold on to this breakpoint advantage.
Turns out the emergency was just losing a single point to South Korea. We busted the glass already. We're at DT3. It's the Demetori DT. You know the pool is ridiculous when we're getting to pools where Demetori is in the DT pool.
Yeah, Karcher disagrees. I mean, this pool is so insane, and Karcher is just casually saying everything. It's kind of scary, honestly. I don't even know how to make a pool that balances a tournament where Karcher's playing in. This is not okay. But, I mean, you're definitely looking at Sawada for this one, though. I mean, Sawada being here as the DT speed guy for the USA team, right? So, and every time Sawada's in the lobby, which is not often, but oh my god, it makes quite a large splash seeing him play these types of maps. So hopefully we get to see him hop in for this one. We did just see DT2 against Germany, and where Sawada just had like 3% better act than anyone in the lobby. So
that score was illegal.
Really
actually.
disgusting watching him play these types of maps.
Yeah, they just said we're putting a speed specialist on the team. Last year it was Arison, this year it's Sawada, and that player, when they show up, they don't lose.
Yeah, I always find it so funny that when players like that just rock up in the lobby for their first map, like it's the most high intensity environment. They just rock up and like SS the map at 270 BPM. Like it's crazy to me. But they've got Nongza. We've got South Korea busting out the Nongza in return. So I'm expecting the Sawada Nongza showdown here. You know, maybe he can pull up something that's matching that of Sawada. But Monko 2K stays in as well.
We don't often get to see the Korean speed roster. This might be one of the few times since they always ban it out, right? So
yeah, they played both DT1 and DT2 last week in finals against Germany, and unfortunately lost both of them. So obviously the weakest part of their skill set. If they can win a map like this, or if they can even scare the United States on a map like this, that'll do a lot. I don't know that I love their chances, but you never know. That's why we play the maps, right?
Yeah, it's why we don't just skip. They didn't just pass when USA picked the DT3. They didn't just FF on the spot. So you know, there's got to be a chance. I'm hoping to see it here.
They left it up instead of DT2, right? So they felt like more. You know, they had a slightly better chance on this than DT2, I suppose. Early breaks from Sawada, Utami, as well as Karcher, so it does give South Korea a bit of an early advantage, interestingly enough.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do with it though, but because it's still not ticking over. The accuracies I'm expecting to be quite lopsided to the United States here. We've got, you know, everyone trying to keep up with these 97s and 96s, but everyone's kind of 99 and 98 on United States right now, so if we don't see any more breaks, it's just going to keep heading in that direction.
Yeah, the fact that it's still flickering with a couple hundred combo advantage to South Korea is not really that good for them. You're a little concerned about their comfort level on the map, but they are holding 97s. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. There is a break from Nongsa though, and so now it's Zason Parisia taking on Rectagon and Monko, and Sawada Ak 99, the only 99 in the lobby. Utami not far behind, 90.5 now. So that accuracy is going to help USA out a lot as they take a little bit of lead. We're not even halfway through it. This is a very long pick. There was Karcher, and now it's just Zason. Well, it's still Zason Parisia, but they don't have much support.
We are approaching right in the middle of the map. This is exactly where, if you're on South Korea's side, you'll be wanting to see some United States brace. Karcher needs to be matched here somewhere, but it's nothing but 901k combos from the USA on this DT3. Dude, I was saying it's impossible to FC these maps. You will not see FCs in the grand finals, but we might just see two here and two reverse chokes. So they see it. Everyone is aware of the current situation. And another break from Nongza almost secures it. Parisia is doing the best he can, but these scores are going absolutely stupid for the United States right now. Like, what is going on?
They're double FCing and they have 1k combo the other two. Parisia is just getting left in the dust, unfortunately, by this team score from the United States. Finally, Monko breaks, but Zason and Karcher both broke as well. Rectagon's still holding the FC. I mean, he's a former Speed Cup champion, right? The guy knows what he's doing on these tapping maps. Of course, Sawada putting in the work, Utami putting in the work. Parisia, shoutouts to Parisia because he's doing absolutely the most for South Korea, but unfortunately it just isn't going to matter. He's 94% act, couple percent down, and USA's got 3 giant combos. Are they going to pull an FC out on this? Can we see 2 FCs? Can we see Rectagon and Parisia hold it out to the ending?
Yeah, it's a long map. We still got ages to go, so it'd be insane, but I love those situations. Sawada drops, and there's Parisia. No, my friend, you did so well, but There's still 2 Donnies left on United States, and I love that when you get to a break and there's 4 1K combos on your side. It just kind of puts you in that state where, oh yeah, we got this. no one's letting down. Like the team mental just boosts when you get to a break like that. But it's 2,000 combo from Rectagon now.
Rectagon,
it is 2K combo.
Nah. This is unreal. I mean, the performances we're seeing in this match are outrageous, but the fact that Rectagon is going to FC counter Clock World DT, possibly, and Utami barely behind him. He's 200 combo down just that early break. Don't do it to him, Rectagon, please. This is just not right. They've got a family. They've got wives and kids. You did not just do that to them, man.
What?
Oh
3.4 million, dude? Are you kidding me? 2 million score. Rectagon Utami with million scores on counter Clock World DT. He got 2,200 combo in less than 4 minutes on a map.
That was not okay. I don't
settle down.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got to settle down after that one. Rectagon's gonna have to settle down. Utami is gonna have to settle down. Parisia is gonna have to settle down. The one miss, unfortunately.
Yeah,
let's be objective here. Let's be objective here. United States was always going to win that map. So in the context of the match as a whole, it's status quo. But in terms of what a performance like that does for both teams mentally, exactly. That's like roll 1d20 psychic damage in the USA, just rolled a nat 20.
Yeah, like, I mean, they could go into it like, man, you know, we're probably going to lose this, boys. Don't be too concerned when we lose this one. It's probably going to be like 500k. No, it was like 1.5 million. We lost that one, boys. Okay, let's recoup. What are we picking here? Oh,
that map is like picture perfect. It's the USA World Cup, you know, mental debuff that, you know, whenever you're facing the USA, you just play worse. That's why, because they do this.
Yeah, you're not expecting to go against a team that puts up a 3.4 mil on a DT3 in a grand finals with an FC and a 200 combo short of an FC with 2 660k plus scores behind it. Like, it's not just their skill cap, but their skill floor. Their supporting players are so good. The roster depth. The question that we've asked over and over about this match and how it was going to go, can South Korea's roster depth hold up to the United States' roster depth? And we're 4 maps in, and it's looking like the answer might
talk about this
be
one.
no. And here we go into the Korea's next pick of Nomad 3. Alex wants to talk about it. Alex can talk about it.
I was just saying we didn't really have time because we had a lot of things to say, but I mean, I think this was this was the most likely South Korea pick. I think they're all out of AIM maps now. Nomad 1's banned, Hard Rock 1's been played, Free Mod 1's been played. There's no more AIM maps, right? So this is basically the only one left. It's kind of an AIM map. This has a lot of ridiculously fast alt patterns, but this is not an alt map. It's a 300 BPM fast AIM map. All right, it's pretty ridiculous. Yeah. It's very condensed. It's one of the shorter Nomad 3s we had in the tournament. And I mean, if you're playing well at you know, this is like a Twitter clip map almost.
We saw that Ikoro clip. This is that in the entire map form.
It's also pretty. It's a pretty common pick in general for Korea. They love going for these types of maps. They picked Koa in finals as well and did really good on that. So
I love the evolution of these Nomad 3s and these pools. You start off with these nice flow aim alt maps at a nice BPM to start with, and now it's just full screen snapping POG at 150 BPM. Like, it's just 300 BPM jumps and full screen, like almost looking like streams at that point. So these things get hard. So we're gonna have to bring out the best players for this one. They reckon it's Zason, Karcher, worst hard rock player, Nope JK. That's a good looking squad from South Korea on a Nomad 3. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they've played Nomad 3s 3 times. They've picked all 3 of those times. Never been picked into them. They've won 2 out of the 3. Very, very solid Nomad 3 team. The United States has only played it once and they lost it. I believe that was the finals last week, Nomad 3 against Poland. Fancy like Takedo, Decaden, and Utami on paper looks like a pretty solid roster for an aim-heavy Nomad 3. But as you said, this South Korea roster looks very strong on this. Karcher and Worst Star player obviously insane at aim control. Nope KJK and Zason likewise. So I do like this pick. They're trying to keep it to maps that they feel super, super comfortable with. And hoping for them that this is another one of those.
Yeah, they didn't go for the Karcher. I was expecting the Hard Rock 2 go for Karcher solo carry. Everyone's dead.
Dear.
Everyone is dead. It's
Nope
just
JK.
Nope JK.
Oh, no! Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Fancy
Well,
Lad
it's
and
not the-
Decaton are free to fly. There's no matching combo at all. This gets dangerous in a
But
hurry.
what are
'cause the
these
map is only
jumps?
2.5 minutes long.
This is
Okay,
blind.
Fancy
How-
Lad. All right.
Wow, 400 combo on Fancy Lad. He's the only one that's hit any of this. Like, everyone's dead. Like, it's just the Fancy Lad show right now, and he's still going.
Oh my.
The map is halfway over.
Joel came prepared. He did not like losing that semifinal, and he said, I am preparing for this grand final. I'm going to be ready to go on every map that I'm in for, possibly. And he comes in for this, and he is just freaking it.
Yeah, this is the USA alt champion. You know, he's got that world class title on his page for a reason. This is the
He's
map.
looking to keep
These
it.
are the maps. The reason for that. He's
He does
still
not wanna
going.
lose. Nah, he does not want to lose that OSU champion title. And now this is over. That's a 4-way reset for South Korea. It's still a third of the way to go, but it's already a 300+ K
He's gonna
lead.
solo them.
And Fancy Lad is still holding. Utami is still holding. And Takedo and Decaton are even backing them up. Fancy Lad
gonna
is putting on a show.
He's gonna solo South Korea right now. They're at 900k, bro. He's approaching. He's still going.
This is not right.
He is still going.
Why is the USA the defending champion of the last several years? It's stuff like this. It's their ability to play grand finals pools better than anyone else. And man, oh man, Fancy Lad showing why he's the captain, showing why he's been on these rosters and why he's got those titles on his page.
Yeah, this map looked like a 50-50. It looked like something you'd pick just like in case you were on that last. You've got no more maps. You pick this because it looks like an earnest 50-50. Who hits the most jumps? He's hit all of them.
I can't believe there's an FC on this. Wait,
this
the
score-
ending?
All
This
of them.
score's not
The ending?
no.
The ending?
Oh, no!
That wasn't hittable.
That's not hittable. That's tragic.
I'm so sorry, Fancy.
Oh, that's so sad. But
I
it's
love that
another
moment
it's an
of silence.
It's an 836k win.
Yeah, it's a stomp. It's a fancy stomp. It's a fancy shoe that you've been stomped by there. I'll tell you that much, because we had that moment of silence right before the end. Like, is he actually going to FC this Nomad 3 when every other score is not even close to 500k and beyond? But
He did break
alas.
in the beginning, so it would have been a reverse choke at best. So we will temper that just a little bit. But yeah, he put up a 922k when the next best in the lobby was 462k, and the best on the other team was 459k.
Why are
I mean,
these scores even possible?
this is the USA is just. I guess they just really prepped for this, and they're just raring to go on this match.
Every map, we're just seeing someone just casually FC a Grand Finals map here. This is insane.
Yep. And I was gonna say Nomad 2 is still on the table.
yeah.
Like it's inevitable this match, and here it is, the 210 BPM Nomad 2. It's only getting faster every week, so it's only getting better for the United States every week. I'd honestly say so. This one's almost 8 stars though in 2 minutes. You know, we can see that Karcher carry performance. It's not out of the question here, but you know, Utami Rectagon.
Despite this map
Terrifying
being
call.
almost 8 stars, though, I think it's probably one of the easier ones in the pool for these players. This is a very solo play type map that you see a lot of people be really comfortable with. So, I mean, when we saw this played in the show match, everyone was just having no issues at all. We saw like almost 2 or 3 FCs in the show match. So imagine in the actual match here, I think it's very likely that we see several.
And this is a map style, this slot, Nomad 2, that South Korea has actually exceeded expectations on. We know what to expect. Like, Karcher will probably just FC because it's what he does. But the rest of their team has been putting up good scores on Nomad 2s. Like, last week, they had pretty solid scores. I believe it was fairly competitive when they played Nomad 2 against the United States. I think that was only separated by a few 100,000 at most. So clearly, a team that scales well in the late rounds on these Nomad 2s, they are more than capable of playing them still. But
Yeah.
you start to
It's
worry about the mental
absolutely
debuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's doable. It's just they have to do it, because if we're about to be 5-1 down to the United States, this is the US's point. The US's pick, reminder. So they've got to do it. They've got to get another break point here, or else we're looking to be approaching that reset button, and it's still early. Like we were hoping to get a bit more information. You know, at the very least, they've got the bracket resets. You know, get as much information as they can out of the United States, but we haven't gotten that much yet. If going down 7-1, it's you know, it's not enough. You know, we learn as much as we can, but all they know is that they've won the speed maps and no mod 2 so far. We've got to get them on their edge. We've got to get them a few more points in, So this is such a pivotal point for South Korea here, and it's starting with a full screen of hundreds from Alagrissimo. It's all right, and misses.
Oh boy,
it's all right.
And in talking about information, before we get too far into this map, Alagrissimo having a lot of trouble. How useful is information when it's information that you're losing picks by 600,000-700,000 points? It's just not that meaningful because you're getting gapped so hard. That information just doesn't go very far when there was never a chance in the first place, no matter what you did. So it gets really scary if South Korea can't find some at least close points. If they don't even, regardless of whether they win them, they need them to at least be close to say we have a chance on this next time if it comes up again. But here we go, starting off Monko, Utami, and Decaden all holding through the intro. Parisia, Alagrissimo, Karcher all breaking in the beginning. And just Zayson, who, I cursed pretty badly last time he played in 0-1-2. There goes Karcher as well. This one's already getting out of hand. There's no FCs left. There's no combos on South Korea. It's 200,000 points plus. United States still have a three-way. We're not quite halfway through. There's still a lot of time left, but look at the combo gaps. It's 720 plus combo on 3 members of the USA, and nobody over 400 for South Korea, and there go their biggest combo on Parisia as well.
Yeah, it's
scary.
3 800 combos. It's 3 800. Monko drops, but there's still 2 left, and it's 85% for Alagrissimo. He's seeing nothing but red right now. That's not going to help South Korea at all, so I don't know, man. This one's looking over already, which is insane because there's still half the map to go. But I don't even think they're going to make it to 1.5 million at all.
There's some parts in the back half of this map that do get a little more comboable. So we could see South Korea able to build up a little combo, but the ending spikes so incredibly hard. The stream patterning is unbelievably difficult to hold on to. And when you're already, this is like a 1,000,000-point win. Maybe more. We'll see what happens. It's still Utami and Decaden holding the FCs. Karcher doing his best, but it just doesn't make a difference. Like, what do you even say about this? This is unbelievable from the United States. 99.6, 99.5, and we come into the ending with this huge lead.
Oh,
Decaden?
What are these faces?
Nah! He's not going to FC this, surely. That last screen. Look at everybody's screen. It's just red X's everywhere that entire inning. But United States just won it by 1.2 million points. This isn't just the United States winning. This is the United States obliterating the scores from South Korea so far. You're really scared if you're SK or a fan, because this is 5-1, and they're not even coming close on these maps.
Yeah, it's not looking too hot. We see 2 800Ks, and that was enough. Like, just those 2 800Ks is enough to defeat South Korea on that one. That's a B on their side, so we're going to have to revamp.
This is a tapping map. This is not something that Korea wants to play. It's not something that Korea is good at. It's fine to lose this. Obviously, this was a landslide, but the expectation was never that Korea was able to match USA on this. So that's all the tapping maps in the pool now. They're all done.
Yeah.
So there's still a solid avenue, I think, for South Korea to go. Oh, this is a scary one to go against, actually. So this was also played. USA played this against Germany, and everyone on their team did really good on this. This is probably the hardest map in the pool to keep a combo on. It's not the hardest map to play, but there are just so many patterns in this that you will just miss on. And we saw several 400, 500k scores on this from the USA. No one did bad on this. This is really scary to go up against when, for Korea, your team has largely just been about 1 or 2 carries every single map. USA kind of has 4 on this one, so I'm kind of curious to see how confident they feel with this one in order to pick it.
Yeah, South Korea just going with the Hard Rock Karcher strategy. They worked for Hard Rock 1, so can it work for Hard Rock 2? An FC on this would blow my mind. He did the Hard Rock 1, and that was already enough. Hard Rock 2 is another beast. This is almost CS7. Yeah, it's not just 6.5 anymore. It's CS7.
You don't FC this. This is not FCable. The USA won this earlier with a 1.4 million score. Just to put that in context, their best score was 421k, and that was on Rectagon, who's a Hard Rock specialist. And that was without Bashiman, who is, again, not playing this despite it being precision. So curious about that. So you're not going to expect high scores on this. You're going to say, if you're South Korea, who is our one carry for this? And can they put up a good score? Because nobody from the USA was that impressive on this earlier. And we know what Karcher is capable of.
I'd say 300k on this is a good score.
Yeah,
so
that's
your reference point. This map is really, really difficult.
Yeah, I'm looking for. I want to see Zayson have his moment on this though, because I know he can go absolutely off it on this one as well. So let's see what South Korea can do. We're on the ropes. Let's get at least one more pick in from their side here. Got to get one more point in the next two to get one more pick, and Zayson's going to be the first miss. 100. Oh, Utami as well, but you know, expect a lot more of those. Do you see how small these circles are?
It's a CS 6.89. Nobody plays this. You don't go out and play this for fun. There's very, very few people out there who specialize in this sort of aim. But USA was holding 3 FCs, and South Korea is holding 2. Like, Karcher, Amamiya, Kokoro have a double FC. There goes Amamiya, Kokoro. Rectagon, Fancy Lad, Decay, and are all holding onto the FCs, and they're going to start to take a lead if they can continue to hold. But these sliders are really difficult with the snap aim into the fast sliders. Your cursor control has to be so good, but apparently the USA have that because they're just on lockdown.
I was going to say, you just ignore the sliders when CS this high. You just ignore the rest of that slider and hit the head. But with these reverse ones, there's those surprise reverse sliders that come out of nowhere, seemingly that everyone has hit. Alakrisimo, I love that miss from him. That's so fair. It's so easy to just snap to what looks like not even close to where the node is on CS7. Like that little extra bump up from 6.5 is. There's Karcher. That little extra bump is so much harder. It's hard to put into words, but
okay, we're only halfway in the map. They're already at 300k, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the USA. Just I don't know. I guess they saw the scores that they put up earlier, and they were like, that's not good enough, and decided to just get a lot better over the last 6 hours. You know,
like out of nowhere.
This is just ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know.
They're 500k ahead. Where did this come from?
They're just holding, right? Like, it's Fancy Lad Decaton holding, Utami with a backing score. Rectagon had the combo for a very long time. And look at South Korea. It's just break after break after break. Alakrisimo having trouble. Zayson having trouble. Amamiya Kokoro building up finally.
98, though. He's 98%. That's a great score if he didn't miss early. But I'm not sure what it mattered. We've still got... Fancy Lad did break just then. All the combos are out, but Amamiya... Another little drop there is unfortunate. Karcher and him actually could have gone stupid on that map without their like 1 or 2 misses in there. It could have been close, but that consistency from the World Cup champion the last 3 years running is just, it's on another level.
USA is just showing off their pedigree, man. Top to bottom, A to Z, 1 to 8. They're dotting their I's, they're crossing their T's. This is just signed, sealed, delivered. It's another breakpoint. It's 6-1. It's going to be their pick to try to send it to a bracket reset already. I mean, we're 45 minutes into this. We're at 6-1 United States, and nothing has felt close. South Korea won their 1 pick, and everything else the United States is just stomped. Karcher pulls out the S-rank 579k, but who's helping him? You've got 310k on Alakrisimo, 370k on Zayson. Meanwhile, United States near 700k on 2 players, 600k on Rectagon. Utami, who's on paper one of the best players that the United States have, putting up their worst score, and it just didn't matter because they're up by that much. Now they insta-pick DT1. They're saying, we're putting an exclamation mark on the end of this match, and it's just going to be over in 2 minutes, and we're going to go to the reset. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, I mean, that was, like, those scores were nuts, by the way. 300k Alakrisimo, 300, like, a little bit more from Zayson. Like, those are nuts scores, by the way, but they were all doubled.
Are better than every other score in the previous lobby. 6 of them are MVPs in the previous lobby.
That's not okay. That's true too, because the USA's best scorers were what 420k and 402k, and they go up from that
6
to
people
697, 656, 607. Like all 4 of their scores improved by at least 110,000 points at minimum. All 4 of their scores over their best score from earlier. How do you even contextualize that?
Yeah, US is having their moment, and it's where they always have their moment. The grand finals of OWC, doesn't matter if they're winners or losers, they still, when the stakes are on the line, they perform. We're seeing the United States at their best right now, and it's actually, it's insane to watch. It's a spectacle, really, watching such high-level gameplay on all these maps that are ridiculously hard. These casual 700Ks the US are doing are almost like unbeatable.
Also, I want to say, as we're getting into this, if the USA win this, we're thinking about time, right? Because this match started at 10 p.m. for the players on the East Coast, so they wanted to get this first set over with as fast as possible, and they're on track to do that. It's not even going to be 11 o'clock, and they're going to be going on their second set, which is so valuable because now they're not making their players, you know, continue performing at 1, 2 a.m., which is what happened last time when they started at midnight the first time around against South Korea. So if they can win this here, force the bracket reset this fast, it's going to be huge for them in more ways than one.
Yeah, grand final speedrun is happening right now. We're ending on a 2-minute map. Let's get it done. Let's get it done, USA. Bad start for them though, but there's Parisia, so it is going to nudge over there already. Monko and Dason will be following up. It's breaks everywhere still, but it's 3-2 right now. It's not the position you want to be if you're South Korea. We want to push this as long as we can, get as many maps, as much practice in before the real grand final happens right after this. Monko's doing his best to let him have it.
Yeah, but there goes Karcher. They needed
the...
Karcher. He was their only FC on the DT1 last time they played the United States. It's not going to happen here. Amamiya Kokoro being your last FC on your team, I'm sorry, with all the respect in the world to what he's done this entire tournament, that's not what you want if you're South Korea. And USA still have 3 full combos in their back pocket. There goes Parisi, there goes Amamiya Kokoro. Utami broke, but it doesn't matter. Rectagon Decadent still holding on. This is just going to be United States winning this one by a lot. Look at the combos.
Yeah, they're hitting these 270 BPM almost full screen jumps, and it's 800 combo in. Like, this is insane. This is absolutely stupid from United States. They're both gone, but it's too little, too late. I'm gonna say it's 300k. Karcher's doing his best with his 98% accuracy, but I don't know. It's just not doable. There he goes.
Yeah. This is over quickly. USA is like a freight train. They just pick up speed, and anything that gets in their way just gets run over and shoved right off the tracks.
And that is the United States. That is why
There's a reason.
Champion for the last 10 years. It feels like 10 years at least they've been holding this championship.
They've won 6 out of the last 7, right? Going back to 2015, and there's a reason, and we're seeing that here. That's a 7-1 first set of the grand finals. South Korea, remember, beat them 6-5 on a tiebreaker just a couple stages ago in the semifinals. Like the first team to take them down to the losers bracket since 2014 before the finals. And the USA just came out and beat them 7-1 after beating Germany 7-1 earlier today. The skill cap of this USA team is unbelievable. And now if you're South Korea, you've got to figure out how to turn around and make a bracket reset close. Because that was anything but close. That was never contested by South Korea in the slightest.
Yeah, US was mad. They were proper mad that South Korea put them down there because now they have to play this second match. They have to do it all over again. It's 14 points for United States to win this OWC, and you know, we're already halfway there. It feels like no time has gone by at all, and we're already halfway there. So it's now we're on an even playing field. South Korea is going to have to... Hopefully that was their warm-up. I'm hoping they all just jumped on. You know, we'll warm up for the first match. We'll go into the second match as our real, like, you know, we'll take them on at our best in the second match. Make it go as late as possible. But that was a 7-1. That was fast.
The USA got everything they wanted out of that set. They won it fast, and they won it decisively, which are two things that South Korea really didn't want to have happen because they got as little information as they possibly could. And it means the USA gets to keep playing at a pretty comfortable time. South Korea is still playing at what I can only assume is a time that is earlier than they might have liked, even though it's really not that early. But, you know, be that as it may, the United States is in a good spot here. So they've got now... Both these teams are going to have about 5 minutes to try to rest up and to try to regroup. And I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do if you're South Korea. How do you try to regroup mentally to go into a second set and try to win after being beaten that soundly 7-1 in the first?
I mean, you know, Hard Rock 1 went pretty well for them. It's not something that they usually go for. I think they just kind of have to break the mold here. I think when you... get into the situation when your team gets this far and you have this one strategy and you keep at it, and it works until then, and then suddenly when it doesn't, it's really hard to break away from that and be like, oh, you know, this isn't working. Like, they're just better at us on this thing. We need to just do something else. I think this is what Korea needs to do here. Look for another avenue, because I mean, whatever they're doing, not really working when the USA is playing this good, you know. So what do you do? You know, like, you have to look at more opportunities for. I mean, we saw Carter on Hard Rock 1. Look for more things like that. Maybe try something new.
And there's
Yeah,
a bunch.
it's just- Oh, you go.
Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff that wasn't picked, right? There's Nomad 4, Nomad 5, Hidden 1, Hidden 3. Like, there's options. Fremod 3, Fremod 4, we talked about maybe somebody wants those, maybe they don't. Hard to say exactly. So there's plenty of ways you can make a hard left turn and say, we're switching it up. But the question is, which of those ways are ones that Korea's actually confident in, and which of those are ways that the United States isn't prepared for?
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, it's you can't mentally give up on all those maps already. Like, you know, you got absolutely swept there. That's how it is. That's what just happened. But you know, these maps are really hard. Like, it's one thing to pop off like Fancy Lad did in that Nomad 3, but it's another thing to do it again. If you know what I'm saying, like these maps are so hard that pulling off these ridiculous scores, and those scores were ridiculous, not once but twice, is another means of itself. And if they can have a single pop off on some of those maps like Hard Rock 2, where they lost by like 800k, everyone brings up their scores a little bit, and someone has that pop off moment. Almost all those non-tapping maps looked kind of winnable, with some of the less optimal misses removed from some of the key players on South Korea, you know?
My thought process is this, when talking about that sort of thing, right? When you're discussing going from first set to second set and improvements and, you know, decreases in performance, right? What is the margin that you actually have that you expect to improve? And what is the margin that you expect the other team to maybe drop a bit by? It's 400, 500k. There's multiple maps that were, you know, 800 to a million points. Can you make that up, even assuming that the United States doesn't play as well in the second set as they did in the first? I don't know if there's the room, even if United States plays worse, even if South Korea plays better, when the margins are as big as they were, will it actually make a difference? That's the question.
Is it even possible to play better than what the USA just did, though? Like, there's no way they
Exactly.
match that. Like, there's no way. It surely has to go down. Like, you know, maybe not by much, but like, that was insane.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, we could hope. We can absolutely hope. I mean, if you're South Korea here, you've just got to stay on track. You've got to not be flustered by what just happened. You've got to just play to your best, and that's best Osu. That's the best Osu we can ask for, you know.
And I mean, if there's one thing that South Korea has been really strong in, it's the mental stage. The mental state. You know, they were down against Canada, they were down against the United States, and they came back to win both of those matches. So clearly their ability to stay mentally strong, even in the face of adversity where they're losing some maps really badly. You saw the United States obliterated them the first go-around on all the tapping maps. I mean, they have multiple maps they won by 1,000,000 points, but South Korea ended up winning that anyway. So they do have that innate ability in them, that intangible of being mentally strong and being sound and able to make comebacks, and we know that they can do that. But this is a big ask now after losing that set the way they did to try and turn it around in that big a fashion.
I'm curious to see if the USA chooses to go for different bans here. I think they're likely to keep the same ones. Korea's obviously gonna,
Yeah, that was the same thing about it. Yeah, it was always going to be DT2 Fremod 2 again.
I can't really
Did they
change that
maybe?
up, eh?
USA might leave Hard Rock.
Did they look
3
at
up
Hard
this
Rock
time.
1? Yeah, like
USA might just ban Nomad 1 Hard Rock Run and go like the double aim bans and take their
clearly
chances on Hard Rock 3.
aim is like the only thing that Korea looked to have a chance on in that set. So it would be a reasonable adaptation to make. They don't really need to make an adaptation, but I mean, who knows?
Yeah. They don't need it, but if they want, they can do it anyway. And it's
same
still Hard Rock
bands.
3. So they're leaving up Hard Rock 1. So maybe South Korea first pick it this time, or since that was the one pick that they won last time, we'll see.
Yeah,
Fans all
it's
staying
a
exactly the
terrifying-
same.
I kind of
It's a terrifying first pick. 'cause
kind of agree with
lose
you
that.
though. I'd like to see more Hidden from Korea for sure. We only saw Hidden 2.
absolutely.
That's not really like a typical Hidden map. I mean, I think Karcher and Forum on both of these Hidden picks, excellent. Honestly, excellent. I would love to see that. I think they have a solid chance on that. If they need to adapt in some way, I think that's probably where they're looking.
Yeah, of all the stomp picks, I think Nomod 2 and DT3 are looking, kind of just chuck them in the bin. We're probably not going to be winning those. But Hidden 2, that could be there. And if we win, if that's what we need the ball rolling. If we get the Hidden 2, we can pick some of the other Hiddens, and that's exactly what they've done here. Starting it off different. Let's go Hidden 1. We're keeping on that aim. We won the aim style picks. This is a bit different, but it's similar enough to I think this is a great pick from them. Exactly what we want to see to start South Korea in this second set. 240 BPM though. It's a bit high on that tapping requirement, but
This is a very difficult Hidden
It's
one.
an aim strain map.
It's aim strain. I
This
mean,
just
it's camo
hurts.
aim. And this is not something that these teams have played much. United States has only played it once, and they won it a couple rounds ago. South Korea has had it picked against them once and lost it. Like, that's it. They've only combined for 2 Hidden 1s this entire tournament.
I really like this as a first pick, honestly. I think this needs to come out. This needs to be a solid win for Korea. They need to make a statement here. Swing the tides of the mental a little bit. USA's feeling really good about that last game, so you gotta do something about it.
Why not go Hard Rock 1 here, though? What do you think is the reason for not going the one map that you won last time and the one that you played the best?
I think if you pick Hard Rock 1 instantly as South Korea and then lose it, I don't know. I think the mental is completely destroyed at that point. If
it's
you pick
different.
the one map you won and then just lose it instantly, it's gone. There's nothing else, and then you're kind of just scrambling.
But
So I
okay,
think-
they were scrambling anyway, right?
Yeah.
I feel like
exactly.
you know what I mean. Like, you give yourself the chance of being up 1-0 while giving the chance to the other team of winning the only thing you won last time. I feel like that's a coin flip that might have been worth it, but they didn't go that way. So we're gonna go in and see. It's a
I'm
new
not
pick.
going to be the one to question the strategy here. Hopefully they know exactly what they're doing. South Korea. Now, we saved this for the second match. I'm going to say they saved this for the second match and didn't pick it the first one because they didn't want to flop all their cards on the table.
No, that's true. Maybe there's a real strategy you can use here during a bracket reset match like that. When you have the safety of knowing that you can lose the first one, is just not to give them information. Maybe they, purposefully didn't pick these maps so they can pick them in this second set. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean the start's not the best, but it can go somewhere. It's just Amamiya. Yep, and Nope JK as well. But this whole map it doesn't let up. Like it's this for the entire 3 minutes 40.
I'd say this is one of the longest maps in the pool. This and DT3, obviously excluding the tiebreaker. So a lot more consistency required than many of the other picks. But when it's already 3 FCs down and worst HR player who has been really good at hidden control aim over the course of this tournament, you're getting worried early on. Karcher doing his thing. Karcher is, as usual, karching on everyone in the lobby, but unfortunately, it's getting karched right back because the USA is just really good at hidden aim.
They have 4 Karchers
4 times. Yeah, there he goes. It's 4-0 right now. It's not the start we were hoping for, unfortunately. But are you kidding me?
The
How
US
is everyone hitting these jumps?
I just want to say that going into this match, the USA had played 7 hiddens and they'd won 6 of them. South Korea had played 6 hiddens and won 5 of them. So these teams are both really good at hidden. Like on paper, both incredible at hidden, but look at what's happening in front of our eyes. It's already a 400,000 point lead and we're not even halfway through.
That paper's been shredded, Tig. It's 4 1K combos almost. And you look at this map, like all these slow parts are not slow. This is the slow part of the map, and it's nothing but like full screen, awkward hidden jump aim on AR 9.6 on 240 BPM. Like, this is serious skill required for this map, and the entire United States team, bar Tekido, is going absolutely stupid on it. 1K combos from almost every member.
They're up by 700k. Like, this is what South Korea said they were going to open the second set. They lost the first set 7-1. They say, what's our best pick to come out swinging in the second set? And they say it's going to be this hidden one. It didn't get played the first time around. It's something that we feel we're good at. We've got good aim players. We've got good hidden players. And the United States is just smacking them back down and saying, you will pay for your insolence. How dare you pick hidden aim against us? We're going to win it by 1,000,000 freaking points.
They are not three-weighing this, dude. There's no way that's the thing.
I can't believe this is happening. Like, South Korea, they had this hidden one pick planned and ready to go, but United States were just licking their lips. They're salivating. They saw a hidden one come up in the lobby, and they're just like, oh, you could not have made that decision. That's what South Korea's come to. That's where all their planning and they're ready to go for this match, and it's absolutely blown up in their face. 1,500 combo. That is a collective 4,500 combo.
What are they doing?
This is not okay. They're three-weighing at 1,500 combo. If they three-way FC, this might be the best team-wide play in the history of OWC.
It already is. What is this?
I've never in my life seen anything like this in a grand finals.
Are they all going to close it out? There's Decade.
At
3 closes.
1.5 million point win on your opponent's first pick in the grand finals bracket reset. I mean, if that's not making a statement, I don't know what is. Jordan, you talked about, right? Yeah. South Korea was all planned. They had their time in between the matches. They were prepping. They were ready to go. They had their first pick in mind. But Mike Tyson once said everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth, and the United States just landed a howitzer.
Yep, they're on the floor. I see stars. They're seeing stars right now. 3.7 million score from United States almost. Like, that's one of the hardest hidden ones I've ever seen in a tournament. And they two-weighed it. Almost 3. Like, Decadent, Monko, and Tami. Like, that is crazy. That is so crazy. What do you do now? Where do we go?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. Okay, I don't want to say it doesn't matter. I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but it feels like it doesn't matter. I mean, when you go into a new pick after losing that first set the way that they did, and that's the result, I mean, the United States just came out firing on all cylinders.
That losing that single point almost feels like losing the whole match. Like, that's how earth-shattering that defeat was that South Korea just had to put up with. And they have to keep playing after that, dude. How are we going to get back on the horse? How is Karcher going to save us from the depths of 3.6 million on Hidden One? The aim pick that they were supposed to be better on, dude. I don't know. And let's see some magic happen on DT3.
It's DT3. Like, this is... If we go based on what happened in the first set, like, this is such a go next moment. I'm sorry. You saw what the USA did. Even a fraction of their score from the first go-around on this wins it again. I hate to be like the doomer about picks, because I came into this thinking South Korea could actually win this match. But this is the United States just on a different level today. And if they can keep that up through, like, a couple more picks... I don't know. South Korea needs a miracle break point on one of these picks, because the United States looked dominant on all of their own matches that they played. And this was one of the biggest. Like, if South Korea gets a break point on this map, it might be the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, but it's kind of what they need.
No. We're about to watch Parisia FC this. You know, he was close last time.
Yep,
we're about to witness him FC this. Nongza is going to go stupid as well this time, and I already know that for a fact. So, all of what you just said... disregarded. The intro doesn't count, dude. It doesn't count. It's just the intro. Don't worry about the intro. Parisia FC's the rest of the map. Karcher FC's the rest of the map. It's done. We're back on the board.
Karcher actually FC's these. I mean, he is Karcher. He is the backbone of their team and was this whole tournament. Like, they need to have him show up if they want to have a chance. But, man, I mean, look at what's already starting to happen. We're already 100k, not even a minute into a 4-minute-long map. Like, that's not a lot of time, that's not a lot of score, and this gap is already 100,000 points. You start to get a little worried very quickly in cases like this. Imagine
This red bar.
imagine if Rectagon F sees this again.
No, that's impossible. This is insane. This is 2,300 combo of speed, and it's Demitori, man. He's DTing Demitori maps and FCing them, dude. All my eyes are on Karcher though. My eyes are entirely focused on Karcher for this map because I already know those on the United States are going to break, and it's going to be all up to him. Parisia has that 700 combo as well, so that score leads. It's not too far at the moment. We can still see these breaks from the United States, but
there goes Rectagon.
There's Rectagon. There's one. It's
So,
kind of even right now.
It's dead even. It's dead even. It's Utami and Monko against Karcher and Parisia, and then Sawada against Zaysen.
Yeah. Last time at the break, it was like 4 1K combos here, and they had all the boys backing him. Parisia, no! Misses right after the break. Slider break. What a tragic slider break.
Halfway through. I mean, he didn't have enough C, so it's not as like impactful of a miss, but it's still an impactful miss when you have the combo.
Yeah.
There goes Sawada again. You still, I mean, like, there's a lot of time left, and it's only 200k. The score gap, as you said, is not really growing that much yet. But there goes Karcher. Now it will. Because Utami's still holding, and Monko is still holding, and there goes Karcher, there goes Parisia. It's like they hit a wall at that 3/4, 2/3 mark in this map, and their stamina is just no longer there. And meanwhile, Monko, Utami, Rectagon, Sawada apparently just have infinite stamina for this map.
The finger control and actual like stream speed required for that section alone is insane. It shows when no one can get through it on South Korea. Zaysen managed to get through it, but everyone else struggled to get through it, and Utami is still on a 1700 combo, Monko is still on a 1500 combo, and Rectagon is recovering nicely. And that red score bar has already extended to the left side of the screen all the way, so yeah.
The upside of this is that it won't be as big of a win as it was last time. So, I mean, you've got that going for you. It was 1.3 million last time, and this time it's going to be around 1 million or so. So, I mean, you know, maybe the United States are human. There goes Utami finally at the very end. Maybe they're human. I'm not quite sure.
I'm thinking South Korea gets a little bit better on every map until it's 6-0, and then they reverse sweep. They
and then all of a sudden they're better at every map.
They win everything. Karcher dozes for the rest of the map. SS is everything. But this one was 2.8 million still on DT3, and that is no joke. Like last time's score was the greatest thing to ever grace.
I mean, last time was 3.4. 2.7 is like actually a normal, like a little more normal. It's still not quite normal, but it's a little more normal. So that's it's still kind of brutal, but it's not quite as brutal.
There it
is. The instant hard rock one.
one.
We knew that. Yeah, we knew that was going to come up. I don't know why they didn't pick this first, to be honest. However,
okay, I need to say something. I need to say something about this hidden one that we just saw. So I did some digging. That team score that they did, so 3.657 million, is the highest team score we've seen in Grand Finals since 2018. What? That's how insane that map was.
And there's DT speed map. Like there's
also
so many
the map
maps.
in 2018 was a DT map that was arguably too easy for that round. Also, so it got beaten out twice in 2018 by the same map. US versus UK. So UK got 3.9 million on Serendipity. That's the highest Grand Final score I think ever. But yeah, that was the highest since then. That's absurd.
That's in 4 years.
And that was on a map that I would argue is too hard for the pool. Like the hidden one is like almost way too hard, dude. And they got the best score since 2018 on that map. You know, give yourself a pat on the back. Like that's a victory in itself. You know, we're out here setting records in this World Cup 2022 Grand Final here. But 2 FCs on Hard Rock 1 in a row from Karcher. You know, that would also be record.
Yeah.
That'd be one for Guinness World Records for sure.
7.5 star Hard Rock 1 FC it back to back. Why not? You know, it's doable for Karcher. He's got that kind of skill. He's got that kind of consistency on these types of maps. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this is literally a must-win for South Korea because they won this as the only point they won last set, and the first 2 maps of this set have not been close. If South Korea loses this one, the match is effectively, in my eyes, over.
Yeah,
This
there's
is,
so much pressure on Karcher though, man. The poor guy, he's got everything on him for this one. If he can actually manage to pull it off, then, you know, he deserves the win, you know?
It's the turning point here for sure.
This is the crux of the map, the match
This
right
is
now.
this is like quite literally Karchin time. Like this is
Has
where
to
he
be.
shows up and FC's the map and they win it again, and that's how they can try to get back into this.
Yep,
That's
let's
basically
focus up.
the only way, but it is
Let's SS
something that
here.
he's capable of.
It's a nice start. You know, we would have seen more misses on South Korea's side on like every other map on intros. So this looks promising already. Decadent's been the only miss so far on some of these full screen jumps and stream intro. Another one for him. You know, let's keep stacking them up on US. Let's get South Korea in a nice point where it's their point to lose rather than their point to win.
This is the one map that it feels like South Korea really has the advantage on, because they, you know, aim is apparently, I mean, Hidden One notwithstanding, I guess, the only thing the United States feels a little weak on. Bashi Man with a break as well, so it's now down to Utami and Rectagon. There goes Parisi and Amami and Kokoro, though. And there goes Zason, so now it's a 1v1 again. This is the exact same situation as last time. It's Utami
We've been
versus
here
Karcher in the
before.
FCs. We've done this before. Last time Karcher did it. But Utami, I think, is going to be ready, right, for that for that cross-screen 1/3 pattern. That was the only thing he broke on last time until, like, what, the last Ki. I think he's prepared for it now, so we'll see if he can hit it this time. That 1v1's going to have to stay pretty close, and it is a backing combo lead slightly for the United States, thanks to Decaden.
I'm going to go and say that they're both just going to FC and it's on the rest of the team. We need to see the rest of South Korea absolutely step up right now. These full screen squares, Amamiya Kokoro.
Oh,
it's a
no.
bad
Oh,
break, and
boy.
What did you
everyone
say,
else is
Jordan?
broken.
Jordan, this is your
Whoa.
fault. We need them to step up, so they 3 miss, and... Ah, man.
Look, Boshi broke as well. Rectagon's only 200. It's Decadent, man. We need Decadent because it's about
It's on
10k
him,
right
yeah.
now. The ACK is on Karcher. Like it's on the boys in South Korea, but that's the only thing keeping him in it right now. It's about to swap over
There
with
it
these
goes.
constant misses on Kokoro and Zason here. But this is the
man.
moment. The 1/3 stream is approaching, and it's all on Utami to hit it.
Well,
Karcher hits the
Utami and Karcher hitting
streams.
everything. There goes Utami, he breaks on
There's
the big jumps.
Misses on the jump. Can Karcher hit the 1/3 here?
And the question as well is, does Karcher have enough score? Because his teammates are having a lot of trouble, and there's a lot of score on the other
Yeah.
members of USA. They are in
Decaden's up
the
to
lead.
800.
United States is in the lead. Karcher's FC has still quite a bit of score left. He's got about 300,000 points still to gain. So he is able to solo carry this, but it's tough. It's going to require his teammates to do a little bit and him to hold the FC, which he is capable of doing. He's shown us he can do it already. Can he do it a second time in a row?
The bar is barely budging
my
though.
God.
It's still 50k. Decadent is going out of his mind right now. And
Parisi breaks.
FC would be the only thing that could hold this thing together. This score.
Okay,
There
break.
it is! There's the break from Decadent. It's Karcher in his seat. Does he have enough time to do it? And FC, the rest of the map. The
He does.
biggest jumps.
Oh.
The stream. The full screen stream.
No,
He
no.
misses! He missed the last note! It's 20k the United
Rectagon.
States. And I don't
Look at
think they're going to
Rectagon.
get it.
USA is going to take the only point that they lost the first set. They win it at the last second. Karcher's back was stressed. It was strained. The weights were stacked up on him, and it finally, for the first time, it broke at the worst
No
possible
way.
moment. And
We
the
just
United
needed a
States double
little
break
bit
up.
more. A little bit more than 470k from one of his teammates, but that's everything that all of the other ones could muster up.
Wait, they
Don't
don't
know,
have
that
the same
FC would have
score.
made it so
Yeah, their
close.
score. Look at their scores. Look at their scores. 471, 471, 478. Just identical.
470. That was the backing scores that they promised. It was 470k Karcher. You're gonna have to FC, and he was that close to pulling it off again. I reckon he would have won by like
He would've-
5k. It would have
He-
been like a 5k win or something if he did, but now
Well-
it's down 0-3 to the United States in the bracket reset on their
So-
pick, and they
This is a little bit of a doom
pick.
pick as well. I mean,
No, we saw it happen no 1-2 the first time. This is this is kind of scary. It was 1,000,000 points in the United States' favor the first time, and that was with Rectagon and Monko putting up 462k and 339k, which they're capable of so much more than that.
let's just say the reverse sweep narrative cannot yet begin while this map
Yeah.
has yet to be played.
It's all good. It's all good. No 1-2's out of the way. It can't be picked during the reverse sweep now. So same with DT3. They're gone. They're gone. We're going to go down 4-0 here. Unless they pull out the magic here, unless somehow everyone from that first match is just so much warmer and up to the 210 BPM margin here, because this is so fast. Like for a No Mod 2, it's so much stamina involved, as at the same time having to aim these full screen like circle streams. It's seriously insane what the United States were able to pull up last time. So if they just manage to nudge it down 500k or something, open the door a little bit for South Korea to get their foot in, man. We'd love to see it.
It doesn't even matter what happens. Allegrisimo cannot play this map. He got
put up 159K.
83% last time, but Korea just does not have a fourth player on this. Like this is not something they can play. They quite literally have no chance on this map. Like we just gotta say how it is. So
I mean,
you really
Karcher,
have to start thinking about what they can do
could
next time.
FC twice by himself, but
He can assess here. I don't know. He looks pretty good out this intro, man. Looks pretty good.
Oh, they're great.
He's on 80
also
though.
did.
Oh, Allegrisimo.
Allegrisimo's on 70. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. All right, so
It's just the intro.
it's just the intro. But it's only 2 minutes long. Like
No
this
stress.
gets going in a hurry. There's so much combo so fast, and I mean, we'll see if the comfort level increases for South Korea compared to last time. Clearly, they were not there for it before. Allegrisimo already looking a little better. He had a chain miss, but he's gotten his combo back up. The
Yeah,
other player's
clear.
doing all right. There goes Monko again.
Monko's out. That's okay.
So, like-
it's all right.
But there's a lot of map to go is the thing, and we got to see a lot more out of South Korea before we can say anything about how this will go, because it's 3 FCs for the USA against a lot of big combos for South Korea.
It's only 50k though. Everyone's still going. Everyone's managed to actually get through that intro, which is a huge step up from last time. So if we see some POG performance on the hardest part of the map here, and it looks good.
There's Monko again.
It's looking good right now. Allegrisimo.
It's Allegrisimo.
Monko. It's alright.
Okay.
Decadent.
Oh?
It's actually going over the South
No
Korea
way.
right now.
No
Low
way.
key, this might just be happening. This might be the upset of a lot. This could be the moment they need to start their
There's
comeback.
Priest. Rectagon's gone as well.
Rectagon.
Oh my god.
It's Zace and Karcher stepping up
way.
to the plate on this slider stream, hitting it.
There goes the top. What is
Hit the
happening?
circle. No
They
one's
won
ever
this by
seen
a
on United
million
States.
points.
I
They're
am so
gone.
happy to be wrong.
Are you kidding me? Zason and Karcher, here it is. Here's where they step up to the plate and go off on the next couple of maps and bring it back to South Korea's side. Because 2 FCs on the No Mod 2, when we barely got like 1 million last time, we're going to get double million. 2 million on this one.
I'm in shock. I'm literally speechless. This is the most ridiculous turnaround on any map I've ever seen from a first set to a bracket reset in my life.
Oh, there's Zason.
Karcher put
but
up
it doesn't matter.
Karcher had 517k, and he's just gonna FC apparently. Okay,
Oh,
finally on that
he's dead.
last stream, but it doesn't even matter. They just
But the
turned that
deed is
around. 1.6 million score
They
turnaround.
almost double their score.
They went from 1.3 million to 2.4 million, and the US went from 2.5 million to 1.9, and just like that, we've got a match again.
Like everyone doubled their score. Every player almost like doubled their score. Even Alabissimo got the B again and got 330k instead of 160 last time. Like everyone was here to play this time. We were warm and ready. One of the guaranteed picks that we thought United States had on South Korea is down the drain. It's South Korea's pick now, and now we
That's
get
what
to
they
snowball. Will we see the South Korea snowball? What's it going to be on? Because Hard Rock 1 didn't go so well. We've got to start getting creative. It's time to get creative with some of these picks for South Korea. I'm thinking, even though that hidden 1 didn't work, maybe
Hidden
hidden 3's there.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the free mods. I'm thinking Spiky Boy could be the move to go for here, you know?
Just
I mean-
unleash for them.
South Korea won Hidden 3 and Free Mod 4 against the United States back in semifinals. So those are picks that they've won before against this team. They can pick into them again and see how it goes. They're looking like all of a sudden, maybe they're ready to go. They can pull some momentum back their way.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Free Mod 4, so we are going to get Spiky
There we
Boy.
go.
Oh,
All right.
amazing.
Okay, this map. I don't think people are ready for this map.
No, but no one's ready
I don't
for
even
this
know. I
map.
hope the
No
teams
one
are
is
ready for the map because you kind of need to be. I don't think there's ever been a pick in the World Cup like this.
Yeah.
Uh,
Zag has made something special for us here. That is for sure.
This has a pretty absurd amount of different gimmicks. It's a little bit similar to maybe something like Event Horizon from a couple years ago, if anybody remembers that map. It's not really conventional rhythm, even though usually we have a straight up rhythm map here, but this time, not really at all. Kind of curious to see who ends up picking what mods. I mean, both teams have like hidden and hard rock mains, and this map is not at all a tank mod on anything whatsoever. And we do see Forum join back in. I'm definitely looking at Forum for this map. I don't know about you guys, but kind of has their name all over it.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's probably what Rectagon, Hard Rock, Taquito hidden, Fancy Loud, Nutami, Nomad, and then Forum hidden. Nope, and Amamiya Kokoro Nomad with Karcher Hard Rock? I
that's my
have
guess
to think.
too.
Yeah,
But
for sure, Karcher's on Hard Rock.
honestly, we could also maybe see some overmods on this. Neither of the mods like add anything to this map, like at all. There's no extra mod difficulty at all. So like it's, you know, compared to these other free mod picks that are like just complete like score destroyer if you pick any mod on them, this one not so much, I feel. So kind of curious to see how it's gonna go. We are getting into the map, so let's go. Let's see it.
Either way, I love this pick from. It's the psycho pick that they needed. You know, we've seen what happens if we go with. We stick to our guns here and just pick hard rocks. Let's go for free mod 4. Let's go for
Holy
the
overmod
King map.
Yeah,
The
there it is.
Holy overmod.
There it is.
Triple hard rock.
I knew it.
Rocks?
Oh my days.
What? I'd like to see the accuracy from United States because it's. Although this map is no matter what you do,
It makes sense.
ridiculous
It
accurate. Like,
actually
look
makes
at
it
this
easier
intro.
to read, right?
Yes,
It makes it easy to
very
read.
easy to read. This map without hard rock actually definitely. I mean, you can see it. Look how dense this is.
United States taking a page out of the Book of La Rue and going in for the kill. The overmod hard rock here.
Yeah, this is
Meanwhile,
psycho.
standard mods for South Korea. Amamiya Kokoro struggled a lot with that intro. Worst HR player broke as well as Karcher. Not starting off well for South Korea, but there's plenty of map to come.
Fine. This is the surprise pick. You know, we caught United States not ready for the free mod 4. Hopefully, so Amamiya Kokoro with another break there. These wiggles get extremely destructive. Getting into this map, but we're still only a quarter of the way. It's 3 minutes of what you're looking at on the screen right now. Like, what is going on?
I mean, it's like Alex said, right? This is such an unconventional pick that's really not like anything we traditionally see. There goes Utami at the first break. Look at the combos building up for South Korea. They're doing a really good job through this second kind of third of the map here as we get towards the halfway mark.
Yeah.
There goes Fancy Lad as
Fancy Lad.
well. And
Taquito. It's going to swing. It's
Kokoro breaks,
definitely
but it
going to
doesn't
start to
matter.
swing.
We get
South
another
Korea
big
here.
aim section here though. They have to hold. They have to hold here.
It's just Rectagon, though. There goes Worst HR player. That's one of the combos, but they still have Karcher and Nope KJK.
These two combos.
Oh, boy.
They
There goes
might
Nope
just do
KJK.
an
Uh-oh.
OJK.
Karcher's all that's left,
There's
and he's
one
trying
left.
to 1v1. He's trying to 1v1 Rectagon, and Utami and Fancy Lad have some backing combo that is not matched by South Korea. But it's not going away yet. There's still a third of the map, and it's only 100,000 points. As long as Karcher holds, this is still doable. This is still tenable. It's not over if you're South Korea. But you have to rely on Karcher. There goes
breaks
Rectagon
on
and Taquito.
nothing.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing he breaks on there.
Oh, there goes Karcher.
Right afterwards.
my
that was
God.
so tragic.
Rectagon breaks on air, so Karcher says, I'm going to do you a favor and do the same exact thing. You hate to see it happen to the big carry. And now it's just Utami on the combo. He's being matched. Worst HR player, no KJK, Amamiya Kokoro all have combo, but the United States has 130k lead. And there goes Nope and Karcher again. This is actually still doable, though. This is
It's
not
still
quite
100K.
over yet.
Still 100k, but the map's pretty much over, man. And this is an 800 combo
Now it is,
on
yeah.
Utami.
Oh,
It's
oh,
definitely
breaks.
wrapped up.
No time.
It's not enough time.
No.
Yeah,
sure.
there goes Amamiya Kokoro anyway. they
We're
made us
just like,
think.
oh, maybe.
They made
No.
us think.
Oh.
we can't decide whether it's over or not. Like, there's just enough combo left. It's right on the nice edge there. But unfortunately, it's 125k. It's the United States taking that right back. The gambit of the free mod 4 not paying off for South Korea. And the United
Tragic.
States get the break point back. They take the 4-1 lead. And it's like DT1 time, right?
DC one time it is.
Yeah.
Karcher maybe could have done that, man. If he didn't miss, it would have been very spicy because 98.6 on worst HR player there is definitely the score of the lobby
That guy's
for
got
sure.
act,
Like that
dude.
is That is insane.
I'm kind of wondering if they also should have went for some extra Hard Rocks there. I mean, all the Hard Rocks top scored on USA. Karcher top scored with Hard Rock. I mean, of course, Karcher top scored. But,
Yeah.
I mean, like the Nomads on Korea were both at the lowest scores, right? So I'm wondering if there's maybe an opportunity to go for an extra mod there that they didn't really account for. It's weird to think that you should overmod on anything in Grand Finals ever.
But that's
so
like, it makes it so much easier to read. That
I think
it makes
this is
sense.
also like it's just not. It's something that you have to like prepare for. You don't just like, oh, I'm just gonna run 3 Hard Rocks on this. Like, no, you have to like kind of research this when you're practicing. You know, like I gotta give props to the USA for actually looking into this map into more detail and going, yes, we will play 3 Hard Rocks on this. It is easier than anyone else playing Nomad. So yes, we will do that. So pretty good, you know, strategy from them to actually go for that and pull it off.
Yeah, actually going ahead and playing the 3 Hard Rocks in the grand finals on a free mod, like that takes some serious, you know.
It's just not common sense. Like you have to think outside the box a little bit.
Yeah,
there's one thing the United States have been good at. If there's one thing the United States are good at, though, they do their prep. They come ready to play, and they know the ins and outs of these maps when they're taking these matches seriously. And you could tell from what just happened. Like they said, we know we're overmodding this because we know it's going to make things easier for these players. And now they get DT1, and well, they won this by 586k last time. It was actually kind of close for a while. Like, this was a map that South Korea was competitive in for the majority of the map. But this
Probably
is one of those
a lot
cases.
warmer now too.
And they're going to be warmer, but this is one of those cases where I think the United States can improve their score as well. Like, you could see somebody FCing this. They had 3 1 misses. Rectagon, Decadent, and Utami all 1 missed this last time. Meanwhile, it was 3 misses, 2 misses, and 4 misses for Karcher, Amamiya, Kokoro, Zaysen, and Parisia. So the improvement is available for both teams, but you kind of trust in the United States on these types of maps. But we saw it happen on Nomad too, so you never know.
I'd say this was the least decisive win. Decadent intro bait, it's fine. This was the least decisive win from United States for sure. Like, in theory, we've got this and Hidden 2 left. Those are the maps that South Korea have to overcome to win this map. It's this DT1, which, you know, everyone can go off. Everyone's played these DT, almost farm-style maps. Everyone's capable of playing them to a certain extent. Parisia was an early break there, but let's see what the rest of the team, because I'd like to think everyone in this lobby can FC this, for sure.
I think this DT1 is one of the most accessible maps in this pool for people that play at this level.
Yeah.
It's fast,
that grand
but
finals factor is here.
It's probably got the highest variance though.
Yeah.
As usual though.
I mean, I think the Nomad 2 might have had the highest volatility. I think that might be the most volatile pick in this pool, but this is definitely one that's up there. I mean, you could do what Amamiya Kokoro did and just under-aim 1 circle, and what Zaysen did, just under-aim 1 circle, and all of a sudden you're just off of the board because they now have 1 FC on Karcher against, oh, look, it's a triple FC for the United States, because of course it is.
Yeah, it just happens so fast. Where everyone misses on these fast jumps, everyone's just gone, and now United States is completely in the driving seat, looking to 3-way this almost already, and the map is halfway through. So Karcher can do all he can on this one, but I don't know, we're already at 2 million at halfway through the map. It's looking to be 4 here, and we may just see that statistic broken one more time in this match. US might do it twice.
Oh, the record slider
no.
broke! No!
Oh, that would have been one for the record books.
Actually,
Are you kidding me?
They can still put up an insane score if Monko and Utami both FC.
It's 3.9 is the score to meet. I don't know what Rectagon can actually Rectagon can make here.
I mean, he's at 700k. It's not like he's doing badly. He's still going to be near, or if not matching, his score last time was 763k.
Oh,
I think it's on track.
Going off.
Decaying breaks. Shout outs to Karcher over there, holding the FC down for South Korea. But once again, he's holding down an FC that is ultimately going to be meaningless. And it really pains me to say that, because the guy is playing his heart out for South Korea. And it just is, once again, not going to matter. It's a double FC.
3.9.
Monko and Utami double FC, and it is 3.89, just shy. But that, okay, there goes Decayton. Why did people leaving from the first slot? Always fun, because then you get the song doing this weird thing. But a double FC and an FC from Karcher as well. This is just the USA's depth, though. Once again, rearing its head and saying, you might have 1 player who can do as well as us. You might have 2 players that can do as well as us. But we're going to go to the bank with the knowledge that you don't have 4 players that can do as well as us.
Alright, slightly different statistics this time around. So this is now the highest USA score ever in Grand Finals. It's not the biggest ever, because UK beat them a little bit. UK got 3.965 on that same map. But yeah, I mean, yay, statistics.
So 5-1, backs against the wall, 2 points away from elimination. You're South Korea. This could be your last pick of the entire tournament. What possibly looks appealing to you here?
Timeout. A timeout seems pretty good to me.
I like the tack timeout.
I think
That's
the
a good
best
pick.
option on that page right there is a timeout. Let's have a little bit of a breather. We just got completely dozed by 3.9 million on GT1. Let's reevaluate what we're going to go into. Let's stop this train
Right.
at the station here. Let's just put a stop to it. Let's regather. Maybe it's a no mod 4, no mod 3 angle. We could try that again. But I don't know. I genuinely don't know anymore, man. Like, what does Korea do here? They got their 1 point on the most random map, the most unexpected map of the whole match, I'd say. So maybe they just do that again. Maybe they pick United States' next best pick and just completely destroy them on it. Or I'm thinking Jesse. We have to pick Hard Rock 2
Jesse.
for WBC 2022.
It's a decent
You have
option.
to hit that
No mod
American
4 might be okay as well. No mod 4 when it
Yeah.
was played, no one like did super crazy on it. Like the highest score on it is 500k, which is insane. But like when you have Karcher, I think you can kind of beat that.
No mod 4, no mod 5? Like,
It's all in the air. It's all up in the air right now.
okay.
Like, what?
So what I'm thinking is, if you're South Korea, you obviously want to go away from mechanics as far as you can. You want to run sprinting away from mechanics, because that's just not working out, other than the shocking upset on the Nomad 2. So, like, Nomad 4, Nomad 5, Hidden 3, we talked about it. Like, where's the Hidden 3 pick?
So no mod 5, it doesn't seem like USA has a fourth player for. At least they haven't shown that they do. Maybe they purposely played something else. But I mean, they played Boshi on that map. He only got 232k, whereas everybody else had 500. You know, so if you put Forum on no mod 5 and EFCs, you don't have that much ground to cover for the rest of the people on your team to actually go for that. So no mod 5 actually a decent option as well.
Yeah, making the correct pick is so tough here. There's going to be so much doubt on the South Korean voice core right now. Like, this is the pick to turn the match around for them. This is the moment that they need to not mess up. So let's call the timeout. Let's think long and hard about what we're going to start this reverse sweep with. This is it.
None of these maps are bad actually for South Korea when looking at So I think all of these maps, they have a pretty solid shot at every single one of these remaining maps. Really a lot of potential for South Korea here. So I think, despite being down so far down in score, I don't think it's over yet. I mean, all the like guaranteed wins for USA are out of the way, right? So
well, USA won Hard Rock 2 by almost 800k last time, and that's still up. They won Nomad 3 by 800k. That's also still up.
Well,
I don't want to.
You know what I said about Nomad 2, so.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna say it's not over as well, because seriously, these guys, they're great players. They could pull off the miracle here. And if they're thinking free mod 3 is the way to do it, then by all means, show us that free mod 3 is exactly how we're gonna get it done.
It's
I'd
never
say,
over until that 7th point goes up on the board, right? And if you can get some of these really off-the-wall picks and you're South Korea, like, we've seen what their gimmick rosters are capable of, so I do see where you guys are coming from with that. But it has to be optimal, and they have to get at least, 2 break points, which is a tough ask based on what we've seen from the United States picks so far. That's why I'm concerned, because even if they can win their own picks, they've still got to win break points too.
This map is pretty disgusting. I mean, when USA did play this against Germany as well, but they had Rectagon with like 500k with 1 slider break, which is really scary, which is insanely. This is just not an FC map by anybody. So the fact that Rectagon had a 1 slider break on Hard Rock is really disgusting. But you're looking at the hidden players here. If any one of these hidden players is even able to play the map at all, it makes a big difference. Like the standard hidden score on this is like 200k. That's it.
This is
this is the hardest
literally
hidden map of the
FU.
pool easily.
Literally
So-
FU on hidden.
So who you're
Yeah.
looking at on this? Nope, KJK probably. Yeah. So Nope, KJK. If he's able to just make a
Overmod.
splash with the hidden here,
God, double hard rock on this is
Double
terror.
hard rock is psycho. That is absolutely psycho. You see,
I actually
KGG
kind of
stuff.
like it. I kind of
grand
like it.
CS7?
There's so much aim control in this. That I think when you just remove the AR part of this, it feels a little
Yeah.
bit of a different map.
Removing a layer.
You have to be a specific type of player to play this. Like this is either you can SS this or you just can't at all. Like you just can't play it at all. So I don't know. Maybe they're just feeling more comfortable in hard rock. I don't think it's unreasonable.
I'd say this is one of the most one-man carry maps in the pool
Yep.
for sure. Like this is one of the hardest maps in the pool just because of how gimmick and like you see these stream shapes, the weirdest BPM in the game, the weirdest AR, and you're having to wiggle and hit all these things. Like I don't know. The double hard rock might be the key to victory here. We saw it in that other free mod for the United States. Let's see it here. That's almost a full Rectagon Boshi, man. Expect a lot from the hiddens though. You know, Nope JK is
this
actually going
section-
off right now.
You're streaming for
The
about a
aim-
minute here.
Yeah, the flow in
What?
this section is absurd, and Worst HR player is so good at this stuff. And Allegrisimo is holding through it with hard rock, which okay,
Everyone
that
else
break
is down
finally,
on
but
South Korea.
the United States is four-waying this section. The United States is
Stop,
four-waying
stop,
this
stop.
section.
Boshi, okay, Boshi, stop.
Okay,
Boshi making
Boshi stopped.
the score.
Oh,
looks
wait!
Oh, what?
Worst HR player.
Chance! Huge chance for worst HR
Okay, but
player
the-
to absolutely make it count here.
The problem is he's alone. There is no combo on Nope, Allegrisimo, Karcher. They need to get some combo on their other players, and he needs Rectagon to break. But Worst HR player just put himself in a position to carry the map. He's got to basically FC, because he's trying to bring back 100k. So he needs help from his teammates. He needs to hold this combo. But it's doable now.
Yeah. He's against Rectagon on Hard Rock, man. It's so much easier for that Hard Rock to slip on a CS7
Yeah.
stream map. Like
There it is,
there
there's that
and
slip.
there it is. That's the opportunity he needs. One miss on this stream, he'd be
Oh
kicking
my, worst
himself. And
HR
now
player.
it's worst HR player going stupid. It's
Nah.
already there. It's in South Korea's. It's the blue bar has returned to us.
What?
South Korea is winning this pick with worst HR player going mental on the last quarter of this map.
No. This is not okay. You don't FC this like he's doing. This is not right.
What?
Oh my god, he's gonna do it.
Why
No.
is he hitting that?
Why is he hitting this?
Utami's going, and it's 100k, but he is still
Oh
hitting, SSing
my
every
God.
single one of these notes.
No.
That's
way.
insane.
No way. That is the best. I've never seen anything like that in my
No shot,
life.
brother.
I have never seen anything like that. And you said it yourself. This is a solo carry map. Well, Worst HR player just solo carried it.
It's exactly what happened. We just saw an FC on Freemod 3, dude. What? That's beautiful stuff, man. Utami tried to chase. He was chasing him in the end, but FCing that map deserves the win, and I'm glad it was enough. It was almost, 280k, 300, 380k. Very scary for the likes of Korea, but that 960 was enough to absolutely solo stomp that map. And now we've already done better than the last set. We're 7-2. We're in unknown territory here, or 5-2.
No,
Unknown territory.
I disagree. This is known territory. The USA has been 5-2 against Korea before. We all know what happened.
Oh, wasn't it 5-3? Sorry to burst your bubble.
My
I think
bad.
No, it was 5. What are you talking about? It was 5-2.
Sorry.
It was 5-2. Tig, what are you talking about? It was 5-2 when
was 5
everything went Korea.
I swear it was 5-2.
It was
Maybe
5-2 against Canada. It was 5-2 against Canada. It was 5-3 United States. And it's no one
okay.
more. So we're getting more new picks, and this time it's the Halgo. So that means peak slider aim tech
Yep.
Nomad 4 pick.
United States have picked South Korea's trap here. This is
And
this
you're
is
really
the
looking at
5-3.
Karcher for this one. Karcher just has to keep going on this one. Everyone in USA is able to play this spectacularly. No one had like a bad score by any means, but no one popped off. No one really had a threat of a full combo or anything. And I don't really know the extent of what Karcher is capable of, but I'd like to think that he's capable of a little bit more than that. So
I mean,
I'm pretty interested to see if that's
Archer
true.
Worst HR player, two of the
I'm
best
thinking
tech players
worst
in this
HR
tournament.
player.
They're both
that as
so
well,
good
yeah.
at this.
But this, I don't know, I like this. We're going from worst HR player map to another worst HR player map. Like, this is exactly his territory. If he can continue it from that like, he's got a bit of a, you know, he'd be feeling the nerves from that last map. He just FC'd and single-handedly brought Korea back into this grand final. So, I like it. I like him just going off again, back-to-back on probably his next best map, you know?
Pretty scary though for USA, honestly. I mean, every single map I think that they've played compared to the last that they've played against Germany has been a pretty significant raise in terms of everyone on the team had pretty big raises on all of the maps that they shared. So maybe they're looking to get a better performance here, but
this is, I think, a little scary if you're the United States. Like, this is another one where a lot of the scores aren't going to be super great. So you open up the door once again to potentially seeing a solo carry performance. You're already seeing a bunch of breaks. It's Takedo, Utami, Decayton, Archer, and breaking in the intro. A couple Bancho misses, I think, on some other players. South Korea going to start off with the lead. Gonna see if they can roll with that momentum. This is a very difficult, very technical map. The slider aim on this is ridiculous. It's beyond absurd. But again, worst HR player tech is unreal. And Naomi Kokoro has been a very good Nomad 4 player as well. And they're starting off with a little bit of a lead here. It's about 60k already.
The only two FCs there, well, there's one, but worst HR player. These sliders are permanently covering the whole screen for all these players. He hits the stream.
Oh my goodness.
That's enough. That's 500 combo. The map is halfway through already, by the way, and the 100k lead is already a lot with Utami. I don't know where he's going, but he's off the map.
I don't know what's going on there. We're gonna see if we can sort that out. But I mean, he's a very, very low score. This is like verging on unwinnable. Worst HR players is like awoken. He is here. He is prepared. He's about to solo carry 2 maps in a row for South Korea, and they're going to be pretty in this. I mean, it's a break point possible here.
This is a 7.7 star tech map, by the way. This is being FC'd with 95% in the grand finals right now. He is it's coming back over almost to the United States. He is the only thing that's keeping them at bay right now. But it's 2 maps in a row. He's done this. Can he close it out? No, he misses
out. Is there time with Decayton on 870 and Utami on 450? Also, like, if Utami hadn't had whatever that issue was at the beginning of the map, this would be USA probably winning. But unfortunately, it's just not meant to be now. And that's a break point. That's 2 break points now. And the Nomad 2 and Nomad 4, South Korea 5-3 down, but that's 2 points in a row.
Whoa. Yeah, I don't know what happened with those 35 misses, but it was enough. It was enough for worst HR player to open the gates on that one and witness history right now as South Korea gets their 3rd point into the United States. And I like where this is going for them. I like where this is going. Are there enough maps like that where worst HR or one player can just solo carry them against this ridiculous squadron of United States? I don't know.
At what point do they run out of maps that he can do that on? I don't know. But that's 2 back-to-back insane plays. He's activated.
We're deep enough into the match where these picks aren't as confident for the United States as it feels. He was enough to scare them off that hidden 2 pick there. I thought for sure US were going to pick hidden 2, but I guess worst HR was enough to scare them off when we FC'd that AR8 map. But surely that's what they're thinking next for the United States. But
well, they've got... So USA, I mean, it's not their pick now, but they still have, hidden 2, Hard Rock 2 available to them that were picks that they won pretty handily in the first set. But if you're South Korea, all of a sudden you're in a better spot. You can go another gimmicky map and see what worst HR player is capable of, because he's on one now. This could be like a Nomad 5.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there it is.
It has to be. Yep. Form's feeling it right now. You have to recognize that. You have to play around it, and they do.
Great pick from South Korea to recognize that. That's the map that they need to pick and then pick it. The strategy, it's working out. They're in the comms, working it out together right now. They may have the key to defeating the United States in this grand final right now.
That key.
And so you're looking at the score from this when they played. There's not much to be impressed about, honestly. Like Fancy and Takedo did pretty good at 500Ks, really good accuracies. Utami had a really good score, but accuracy pretty low, and they didn't really have a 4th player for this, so I like this pick for Korea. I really do. I think everyone is feeling it right now. They've got the map streak going. They've got to keep it going. Forum is going to unleash.
Yeah,
I
Forum's
believe-
going to destroy another map. The one thing with what you're saying, though, with the United States scores from that first match, Fancy Lad 1 missed, Takedo 1 missed, Utami, like, had it wasn't even an S rank, it was an A rank, but with 0 misses. And the USA, like we said, has kind of been improving a lot of their scores from earlier today. So, if that trend continues, and you've got these players translating those 1 misses into S ranks or FCs and getting a couple 100,000 more points, all of a sudden that score can get a lot better. The 4th player is the big concern, though. Bashiman put up 232k. That's not a score you want to see. And if Worst HR player comes out again with another FC, like, you've got to have something to match it, and you've got to have good backing scores to match it.
Yeah, well, you're definitely scared if you're not United States right now, because they've actually benched Karcher. They've put him on the bench, meaning that these 4 can actually play the map better than Karcher can at the moment, which is terrifying. Because Karcher, arguably their best player, has been benched for the first time in, I believe, the last couple matches, honestly.
Yeah, it's rare to see him not in for anything. Also, we are going to see a replacement for United States from this morning. It's going to be Decaden coming in place of Bashiman. So
that's huge.
Going to see if he can perform better. This is such a ridiculously difficult map, though, in so many ways. So it's going to ask a lot of all the players. But again, if Worst HR player can keep up on this ridiculous pace that he's been setting over the past few maps, South Korea could get this within 1 point of a tied match. And that would be so huge for them. The amount of momentum that they could possibly gain if they get another pick here, you can't put into words how important that would be, especially after the way the first set went and the way this match started. So this is another, it's just like every map is key.
They had that moment 2 maps ago where they were, they were 5-1 down and they had to make the pick of a lifetime, and it's exactly what they did. Now look at them, 2 maps in, they've won 2 in a row. They've just got to keep it up. But there's 2 misses instantly. This map is ridiculous, by the way. If you miss 1 node on this, you're missing the whole pattern, and it's so much score. You cannot fathom how much score you lose. Like Nope JK right now just is not gaining anything.
All right.
There you go, though.
For the 1v1.
It's the triple reset from both teams. It's Utami versus Worst HR player. And Utami's accuracy is nowhere near Forum's. He's 4% behind. That score can start to come back over. Worst HR player is just on this ridiculous pace. I mean, the way he's performing over these maps is incredible. This is another one that's solo carryable. Look at what's happening everywhere else. Nobody has anything. It's just Forum versus Utami, and Forum's winning it in terms of accuracy by a lot.
USA still has a score lead, though.
Yeah,
they do.
It's hard to move. It's very hard to move a score lead like this when it's just a one-on-one and you can't have a better intro. It was just kind of US.
Oh,
no!
Worst HR player breaks. That was their win con. If Utami just needs to hold a little bit longer and it's already over, because that's 200k in the blink of an eye. Look at how fast that score lead just rocketed to the United States. The 1v1 is going the way of Utami. Worst HR player finally blinked. The last 2 maps, he was the carry player, but this time Utami is saying, look at me, I am the carry now.
Yep. Couldn't quite go the distance with this one like Utami did. 96% FC on this is nothing to scoff at. That score is absolutely crazy. To pull that off in that scenario.
What a raise on this from Utami, though. Going from 400k to the score is insane.
And that's what I was saying, though, when we talked about this map coming in. The United States had a lot of players who could improve their scores by a lot. And it really only ended up being Utami, but that was all it took. And now we go Hard Rock to United States. The United States is saying, we're ending this here and now. We won this by 800k last time, and we're going to close the tournament out with that pick again.
Yep. Joel, we have to map for LWC 2022. It's time. It's 6-1 United States. This is the moment. Can they close the whole match out now on South Korea's pick in the previous round? 800k win from them last time. It looks promising, but it's Karchen time. Has anyone checked the time? It's Karchen time.
It is.
No, I don't want to say that United States is going to get dozed on this one and get reverse swept from this moment. But I've seen it happen before from South Korea, so let's not count them out yet.
No, it's the way we've seen teams improving their scores from one set to the next, and the way we've seen the teams kind of downgrading some of the other scores from one set to the next. Like, anything is still possible. Karcher had a 579k S rank on this, right? Like, that could easily be 400k higher score if he FCs. And
compare that to 3 of their scores from last, right? Karcher was beaten out by Fancy, Decaden, and Rectigon with similar scores as well, right? So this is pretty hard for Korea, I think. USA's got to feel pretty confident going into this one.
I feel like anything can happen on CS7 though. I feel like if you start the map like maybe 2 millimeters to the right of where you're supposed to, the whole map is doomed. Like, you're getting 50k because you're just going to be slightly off on every single note, you know? They need a miracle freeze again.
Silence 30 millimeter player.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could happen. It could happen, you know? Who knows what these guys are playing on?
I wonder if any of them have the, we're about to win World Cup nerves, you know? Maybe I'm not sure if any of them are going to
Do you even get it if you're United States? Do you even get those nerves anymore?
Well, it would be the first time for a couple of them, right? But I mean, does that affect you? I mean, surely that has to affect you at least a little bit when the map is CS7, like.
Yeah, I mean, it's a feat to be able to close it out. Like, this is right now you're closing out your victory of OWC 2022, and being a closer is one of the most valuable skills, I think, in OSU. You know, not just choking all these maps, finishing it off, FCing them, and closing the match out is one of the hardest things to do. So if these guys can do it with an 800k lead like they did last time, then
on a CS7 map where the nerves are going to go through the roof.
I think this map needs really, really strong mental here, and we have to talk about the fact that these teams have been playing for almost 2 hours now. Korea's just kind of been on the back foot for this entire time. Like, it takes such resilience to be able to play for this long and like have hopes that you can win. So like, it has to culminate into something. They have to keep that up for this map, or else it's over.
And, you know, the interesting thing here, right, there's early breaks. It doesn't even matter what the interesting thing is here. Rectigon, Utami, Decaden all breaking early on, and it is still combos on Karcher, on Mia, Kokoro, Zason. Karcher, okay, and there they go. The triple break. All right, so now, Fancy Lad, multi-time defending OWC champion, knows how to deal with nerves as well as anybody else in the world. Karcher, the best player on South Korea. It's Karcher time. You called it. You said coming into this map, this was his chance to try to swing this back into South Korea's favor, and they are in the lead at the break at the 1/3 mark. 22k score.
What a terrifying break, though. 20k
man, I would hate to look at
the break. Karcher, it's all on you, my friend.
Look at the combo lead for the USA, though. If Karcher breaks, it's all over. But it's Zason, Alagrisimo, Utami all missing, so that's going to help the United States. They're going to take the lead for the first time, really, in this map, but it's all going to come down to Fancy Lad versus Karcher. That's what's going to decide this. Which of those two players can hold the longest and give their team that big score that they need.
All eyes on Fancy Lad right now. United States, when you're casting, it just kind of ends up that US is the villain.
Wait.
And there he goes! Fancy Lad is out! It's Karcher time! He is the last remaining FC. Decadent is going to do all he can, but it should, in theory, swing over slowly to South Korea. Even though the lack of combos,
Rectigon is doing it as well.
Was there.
There goes Utami, though. Take stock here real quick. We've got Rectigon Decaden against Karcher, Amami, Kokoro. Karcher, Amami, Kokoro have the advantage in combo. They're down to about a quarter of the map left. It is time. There is time, but it's about 80, 90k. It's so close. The amount of nerves in the last seconds of a CS7 map in the grand finals like this are incredible. Karcher still has plenty of score to build up. He is still holding on to this FC. He can bring this back all by himself. There goes Rectigon! That's the chance that South Korea needed.
It's coming.
And there it's coming.
Karcher is still FCing the Hard Rock 2 right now. The score is not even comparable to last time. It's swung over. This is the chance that he needed to close out this grand final.
It's Karcher time, baby!
It's Karcher time. Are we going to 6-4? Can Karcher single-handedly do it?
He can. He can.
8% on a map like this. He has not missed.
And he did. This is going to be South Korea bringing it 1 point back.
Who needs a team? Who needs a team?
Wow.
Not Karcher. FCing Hard Rock 2 on the brink of defeat in grand finals of OWC 2022. Are you kidding me? What is this guy made out of?
Out of all the maps we've seen FC'd this casually, this is not what I was expecting.
They went from losing that by almost 800k to winning it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like what happened on Nomad 2 all over again.
That's exactly right, Fancy Lad. That is a nice FC.
That's
a
nice
game-winning FC, if I've ever seen it, you know? And it's their pick.
It's Hidden 3, surely.
I don't know. I mean, every map looks so good for we've been here before. Like, we've talked about this. Every remaining map looks pretty good for Korea here. I don't think there are bad options. There could be a new map as well that we haven't seen. I mean, Hidden 3, you just mentioned. We haven't seen this one in this match also, but DT4 is still up. Could also be a decent one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The moment is now. The moment is now. We need to pick correctly, because I'm thinking US picks Hidden 2 after this, right? Like,
yeah,
they won that last time. Surely that's their last pick. They've saved it. They first picked it last match. Now they've saved it for last pick here.
Well, what is Korea doing with Fremont 1? That was their first pick in the first set, right? So it's still here.
It's still there.
They didn't win it.
Staring them in the face.
Surely they like that map. They first picked it, right? So I don't know. I would say the cards are wide open, but it's starting to close a little bit. Like, there's not that much choices, that many choices remaining, but they're all pretty decent ones, honestly. Just Hidden 2. Obviously, they're not going to go for that one, but everything else, not sure. What do you guys think?
I think it's terrifying. This is absolutely
they're going number 3 again.
It's terrifying.
So
it's number 3.
So Korea is daring Fancy Lad to come in and do what he did last time again, because that was a solo carry performance. Really, the United States didn't have a lot of solo carry performances in the first set, right? A lot of their wins were team scores. It was a full team gap. But the Nomad 3 was Fancy Lad coming in and putting his stamp on this match by solo carrying this pick. And now he has to do that again if they want to get a break point to win it right now. And that's a big, big ask in Grand Finals this deep.
They're taking a page out of South Korea's book. They're picking the solo carry map that's won South Korea every pivotal pick that they've needed. They've won by the extraordinary performance from one player. So United States is now taking a page out of their book, picking number 3, the one that's Fancy Lad solo carried for them last time. Not like their other scores on the team were bad, but he was just the absolutely exceptional performer. Because this map, if you can't play it, you can't play it. Like, it's such an extreme for Nomad 3.
This was, I'm going to bring the scores back up here for myself, because goodness sake, the variance in the scores, right? Fancy Lad 922k, but nobody else over 460. Like, and it was an 836k win, so straight up like 500,000 of that score gap was just I'm a Fancy Lad. And South Korea is looking a lot better in this second set. They're getting the carry performances that they really didn't the first time around. Worst HR player will improve his score. Karcher will improve his score. And Fancy Lad, I don't think he'll probably do that again. Which means this is all of a sudden really close.
Let's see if Fancy Lad can do it here.
We've seen it a couple times already, not just this year, but every other year that Fancy's been playing. I don't know. Probably not doing that again is a little bit of a bold statement here.
I mean, I play the odds, and the likelihood of getting 900k plus on this twice in a row, it's just not very high.
If someone's going to do it, it's Fancy Lad.
If somebody's going to do it, right. He has been one of the best players for the USA for years on end. But
if someone's got to do it,
it's worst HR player or Karcher.
It's worst HR player or Karcher here. I'm nervous for them because this is the moment.
But they've been clutching up, right? How many matches have they just gone so clutch? They won 4-0 against Germany to win in the winners final. They came back from 5-3, 5-2 in the semifinals and the quarterfinals. Like, this South Korean team knows how to win from behind, and they're gonna have to do it once again here because they're falling back. There goes Fancy Lad, though. There is the break.
There
so
it is.
It's Taquito versus worst HR player, and again,
it's 1v1.
It's the rest of the teams collapsing around them. There goes worst HR player.
It's just Taquito.
There's a lot of map left, and it's only Taquito. There's really no combo anywhere else, so this is really close. Outside of Taquito's combo, this is incredibly close. So how long can he keep this up is the question. What kind of lead can he build for the United States? Because all the other combos are so even.
It's huge. It's already huge. It's already enormous. We're already halfway through the map, though. This 500, 600 combo is already enormous for the United States. It's looking like it's going to close them out. Like, we would need South Korea to just not chain miss and at least get the squad comboing the second half of this map. It's so hard, but they have to do it. Fancy Lad, with the first one breaking, it's going to be a huge favor, but it's still 200k, and no JK has not hit.
He breaks. Wait.
Breaks.
Okay, so we have Utami against Karcher and Worst HR. Oh
He's
my
gone.
god, wait a minute!
Karcher, Worst
Karcher,
HR
Worst
player.
HR player
It's
can
two
bring
of
this back. There goes
Can
Karcher,
they
but Worst HR player still alive. Worst HR player can bring this back. It's 120k, 200k. He's got a lot. He's got a quarter of the match to
it's
go. That's a
terrifying.
decent amount of score left, and there's no combo in the United States.
If he holds this, there's a chance.
He has to FC the rest of this map, though. He has to hold through the entire rest.
Oh my
He's
god.
doing it.
It's too-
It's the
it's-
wiggle.
Okay.
It's
Is there...
huge chance. There's 200 combo
Oh.
in United States, and that's it. It's worst HR player.
Oh
It's
my God.
120k. It's coming. It's inevitable. He just needs to hold on for the rest of this map. One of the hardest maps in OWC pool. Can he do it?
He's got to hit this. I don't know if it's enough, though. He
100.
might run out of time here. Utami's got some combo,
The
so
timer
it's
is
keeping
ticking.
it down. But if Worst HR player FCs this ending, it might just come down to the last moment. And here we go into the ending. Is there enough time? Is there enough combo left? And the answer
He
is
hits
no.
the end, and it's not enough
It's
time. It's so
60K.
close for South Korea, but United States have gone ahead and done it. Takedo was enough to carry them for that last map of United States versus South Korea, OWC 2022. Your champions, once again, United States.
5 years in a row. 2018, 19, 20, 2021, and now 2022. United States continue their dominance of Osu Standard. South Korea, you have to hand it to them because this looked over so early, and they fought and clawed and scraped and scratched for everything they could get, and they made this a competitive bracket reset. But the United States proving why they are the team that is the most dominant in the history of OWC. They go down to losers bracket, they don't care. They make a run, they make it back up to the grand finals, and they become the second team after themselves in 2015 to ever win the Osu Standard World Cup on a bracket reset in the grand final. They are the #1 team again, and they're proving it year in and year out just how strong they are.
Every time it looks so close. Like, you know, you look at just the result and you see USA win every time, but I mean, Korea at one point in this match, including the bracket reset, was down 10-1. And the fact that they managed to get a couple points here, I mean, and honestly, even a lot of the USA's picks also were really close, right? So, honestly, a pretty good match, all things considered.
Great match.
Considering
Awesome match.
how dominant USA looked on the first one, like they just came to play, and Korea was somehow able to match that for a little bit. Unfortunately, as usual, it's not enough to beat the USA.
It's
So
just
many
never
years
enough.
now.
It's
So
just
many
never
years.
enough.
I feel like we try. Like whenever you're commentating one of these matches, like you always end up making USA the villain. Like it's always USA is the villain in these matches, and you're trying to cast the other team to just defeat them or get through their defenses, but it's never enough for them ever. Like South Korea had so many standout performances on some of those matches and what a game from worst HR player
Amazing.
Amamiya Kokoro and Karcher, man. Like they did so well and almost took them to tiebreaker, and that was their moment to get through and push through for that last effort, but just falling a little bit short this time in 2022. You know, there's always next year. We'll be back then, so
It's another amazing. This felt like the year where anything was possible, and you see worst HR player and Karcher at the top of the match costs. We didn't talk, it feels like, nearly enough about the other players on their team, but man, they did so much for so long. But man, the USA, right? You can't say enough about the depth and what this team is capable of year in and year out. That's 7 out of the last 8 that they've won. They stand on the top of the podium once again.
yeah, they still got the dub over them in the semis. So you know, it's something. You know, it's something. They were the first team to put them in losers in years. And they were that close to finishing it off in the grand finals here. So, honestly, props to them. GG well played to all teams that played in this World Cup. That was an exceptional World Cup. Everyone just got so much better this year, and it's always so inspiring to watch at OWC year after year, and everyone just continues to get better and better, where the pools can get harder and harder, and people can still just go in and FC maps like it's nothing, man.
despite USA just winning it all in the end, this was probably the closest World Cup in terms of like team power levels. It was honestly a massive toss-up within like the top 6. Who would go where, and what team beats what, right? Like as soon as like honestly, the moment Korea beat Canada 6-5 in the winner bracket, after that it was all a complete mess. Like the lower bracket now had Canada, and then USA lost to Korea again, and now the lower bracket had what? Poland, Germany, Canada, and USA. Like we've just never seen the caliber of play in that lower bracket ever before. Like the competition this year was insane.
Yeah, it year after year. I think what's the coolest thing to me, as somebody who's been around the OSU and the OWC ecosystem for 5-6 years now, is just seeing the improvement globally. It's been amazing to watch as players from all over have developed to the point where you're seeing players in OWC Grand Finals who you had like never heard of before their roster was announced. You know, guys like Allegrissimo or Parisia or Amamiya Kokoro, like coming in and making an impact and helping their team win points against a team from the United States that's just full of these incredibly well-known names, past champions. And South Korea comes in with this roster of people that a lot aren't familiar with and still scares them and still puts up, you know, a really good showing. And like you said, all these other teams that have just improved so much year over year, you know, the ascension of teams like Romania and the continued strength of Canada and Germany despite player turnover. It's very, very exciting to see happen over the past several years and hopefully into the future as well, as we continue to see pools getting harder and players getting better.
I think you have to give it to Amamiya Kokoro and Parisia for coming in over and over on a lot of maps as like fill players and still managing to like do pretty well, honestly. Like obviously they're not the stars of the team. It's really hard to be the star of a team when you have Form and Karcher on there. But like they were there the whole time, you know, like they were able to support them, and that's huge. A lot of times we see these teams build rosters that have like this crazy MVP player, but not the roster to go around that player, you know? Like you can have someone that's really insane at like gimmicks, for example, but just don't have a gimmick roster. So you got to give props to the Korean team, I think. Despite not winning, they certainly they certainly gave a very, very good fight, and it wasn't just, you know, it wasn't just the top 2 players. A lot of them came in consistently on every single map. Like no one really did bad. And honestly, maybe this is just something in the West, but you know, personally, I haven't really heard a lot of these players before. You know, like they're not really commonly talked about. Even when they played Corsace, right? They had like a top 4 finish in Corsace. You know, nobody really talked about these guys before, and now they're just like second place, and OWC almost beating the USA, right? So there's some new names on the battlefield to take a look at for next year for sure.
The best part, getting to make a name for yourself in OWC. Like these guys are absolutely no one to scoff at, and they've shown it. They've got to show it to so much of the player base in the, you know, the biggest global tournament of the year. They've come in and stepped up, where, you know, against the greatest team to ever grace OSU, you know. So I'd say they wouldn't be discouraged by this. I think that's 4 points into 7, the grand finals, you know. Huge victory, honestly. So
apparently we're not going to be seeing them on stream, but we're getting some older names in here. Fire Rage and Karuna. Karuna being one of those Korean players that were exactly the type of player we were talking about, that just 1 year just showed up and was like, hey guys, I'm here, hello.
I'm here to pop off.
That's what they do. Good,
that's what they do in Korea, dude. They just spawn these players and they just roll up and roll in the big scores, you know. It's awesome to watch every year. And like Tuna wasn't there this year, and it's the best scoring South Korea has gotten. Like they got second place the moment Tuna hopped off the team, and he was consistently the best player on the team year after year. So
imagine if this tier's team had Tuna and Karuna. Like they actually would have won the tournament. I think they actually would have won the tournament, as close as they came without them. And that's 2 of the best players they've historically had. Like you can't understate how good Tuna is and how good Karuna was. Yeah. So I mean, it's them as well. Oh my lord.
It's the same thing though. Like you bring back Vaxei, what happens?
Peak USA. It's a shame, kind of, that some of these countries have never had like all of their stars at the same time. You can talk about like 2019 USA, I suppose, as the best team they've ever had, because Vaxei and Idke both were at some of their best performances ever. But imagine those two plus Fancy Lad at peak, plus Utami at peak. You know, imagine South Korea flying Tuna at peak, Karcher at peak, Worst HR player at peak. Like, it's
that's
pretty
what makes
scary.
it so extraordinary, though. Like, it's crazy that, you know, Decadent can roll up here and live up to Vaxei's legend. You know, these United States players are replacing one of the best names this game has ever seen, and they're still coming in here and setting these ridiculous scores. So it's the turnover that you know, really makes OWC. They have to go in there and live up to these legends. You know, and it's exactly what they've done another year in a row. So it's awesome. We are getting a bit of the tiebreaker showcase here, though. Like, if we saw this tiebreaker, dude, I'd be freaking out. Like, if this actually got to happen, and it was almost there.
I actually think this would have been Korea favored again as well, much like the semifinal tiebreaker was. Got a little of those tech elements to it. There is somebody out there who will be very mad at me if they hear me call this a tech map, but it has tech elements, which are South Korea's like bread and butter.
Yeah. Definitely a bit technical, I would say this map is. So
high technological mapping.
Who knows, dude? HR player, he might have just absolutely stormed them on this. It's all for next year. We'll see what happens next year, dude.
It's always the most exciting part of the OSU standard year, right? Seeing the rosters and having all the discussion and the predictions and the analysis beforehand, and then it just getting thrown out the window because of teams that show up and perform the way that South Korea did this year, or that perform the way that Romania did this year from the 11th seed getting into the top 6, or Poland, getting the 2nd seed and showing up and getting 4th place, like really finally making a name for themselves after having a couple of rough years since they won back in 2017. Like, the storylines of this year were amazing. So you can only think about what's going to happen next year as these players continue to grow and improve and develop over the next 12 months.
Yeah, the best part is I guarantee you, we don't know the player that's going to step up next year. Like, he's definitely not in this lobby. He or she will be, you never know, the next prodigy is going to spawn for next year's OWC, and not knowing who that is, having them pop up out of nowhere, form in OWC is the coolest part. It's the most exciting part. It was a year for players nowadays, a year of grinding with the maps that we have now. The potential is limitless for these players, you know.
And think of the motivation as well for these players in some of these countries that historically haven't had this level of success and now are continuing to hold on to their success. Whether you're a Romanian player who wants to become the next Badu or next Eternum, or you're doing? We said this was going to be a good map for him in South Korea, and this is exactly why. But if you're, an American player that is on that grind against all the other amazing American tournament players, like, the motivation has to be incredible from seeing what these teams are capable of. And Worst HR player is just emblematic of that, showing up in this tournament and playing the way that he has, and showing up on this tiebreaker and putting up 1700 combo, finally breaking.
Yeah, I mean, they were winning. You never know what happened. But
I really thought that South Korea would win this if it went to tiebreaker, because this is the type of map that they'd be really good at. So USA needed to win one of those last couple points.
Yeah. No, I'm calling it now. Next year's winner will be New Zealand, just out of nowhere. They just get 2 MREX.
Saiku gonna be Saiku and Zoomer gonna be the OWC carriers.
Yep, two new MREX for them next year.
Who's our investment targets from New Zealand? Gotta find out. Yeah, I don't know. We come into the last moments of the tiebreaker. We'll be quickly making our way to the end of another incredible World Cup. Yeah. Any last thoughts, Azer, as an organizer, as a map pooler, somebody incredibly involved with all the background? What do you think about this year, and any last words about this tournament?
It was a wild ride for sure. It was a very time-consuming wild ride.
Yeah, I mean, South Korea wins the tiebreaker. Oh my god!
I'm very excited about like the quality of play. It's both excited and scared. It's really difficult to like balance a map pool around on people like this, where like I don't know, some people just say it's way too hard, and then you also have like Utami and Karcher and worst HR player, and they're like, nah, it's fine. Clearly, it's fine. We can FC the maps, you know, like it's not too hard. So I don't know. It feels like there's a big range of like skill levels at play, or like a big range of like score volatility that makes it pretty difficult to make a good map pool. But yeah, hopefully at least it was entertaining. Yeah, I mean, honestly, awesome. the whole cup as a whole, I think was extremely good. So many storylines, so many, as you said earlier, so many solid narratives that ended up, coming to fruition. And I'm just pretty happy that Korea managed to make it this far. Honestly, it's not a roster that we even had. At least I didn't really have on my sites too much. Didn't really have them over Poland or Germany or even Canada, and evidently they really showed up and played. So yeah, I think it was a good time.
A good time. And Jordan, new commentator this year, a welcome addition to the Grand Finals box. Any last words, any final thoughts on the tournament that we have just concluded?
Yeah, bro, that was crazy. That was that was ridiculous, bro. I don't know what I was doing here, but I'm glad I was, because that was history. That was every time watching an OWC match in the Grand Finals, it's history being made. This will be talked about for the next coming years when USA won their 5th, 6th, 7th OWC in a row, but we get to see these other teams just barely not able to take them down. And once again, it's like it's a mission. It's like it's an accomplishment to just take down United States in OWC every year. Like, who's going to be the one to do it? And this year it didn't happen, so it just builds up the story for next year even further. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most. That was a great OWC, and every match was amazing. I'm glad I got to watch almost like all those matches, because they're all quality. But next year's going to be even better. I can guarantee you that. Like, it's a running story. When the pools inevitably get harder, like, I thought that was way too. I couldn't play any of those maps, by the way. I thought that was way too hard. But then there was a 3.9 million score on one of the maps, so yeah, completely out the window. Maybe just make all the maps way too hard, even harder. Like, just make them all 8 stars for next year, man, because like, clearly it's not even challenging some of these speed players. And Karcher Hardrock FCing that Hardrock too to save the game. That's got to be one of the biggest highlights I've ever seen in OWC. So yeah, glad to have a partner, and thanks for everyone for watching that one. It was a wild ride.
A wild ride it was. And unfortunately, like all wild rides, it must eventually come to an end. And that's going to be right here and now. Congratulations once again to the winners of OWC United States, 2nd and 3rd, South Korea and Germany. United States gets their 5th in a row. And we've got a year to figure out whether somebody can finally dethrone this United States team for the first time since 2017. First, though, a big thank you to everyone on the staff, every one of the viewers, all of the teams and players, everybody who's been a part of this World Cup. It's been an amazing ride from start to finish. It's been an incredibly exciting experience. We've had amazing matches from day one until now in the Grand Finals. I think I speak for everyone here when we say thank you for all the support. Next World Cup is going to be Mania 7K World Cup. Starts registrations on December 15th. That'll be our next World Cup, so make sure that you stick around. If you like the World Cups, there's other modes, guys, and they're all just as exciting as standard. But for now, for Azer, for JTB, for everyone here at the OSU World Cup, I've been this one guy. Congratulations, United States. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.